All right. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. As you can see, this is a unexpected podcast that I started. So we're gonna have to wait for some people to show up. This is King Bucho, your host. BDA is probably doing cocaine, hanging out with prostitutes. So I'll be taking over. Listen, I'm not a huge UFC fan, but I will watch this fight. It's intriguing. Everybody's talking about it, so I guess I can't miss it, basically. So if you guys want to talk about the UFC fight, you can join the show. What's up, Mean Machine? So I was saying, if people want to talk about the UFC fight, then you're welcome to do so. Or if you want to talk about boxing or anything else, we'll have the Better BF fight, so we can also talk about that. But obviously, the big event this Saturday is the UFC fight. So yeah, I sent that out some invites. I have to wait a little bit before people start showing up. So what's up, people? As you can see, I'm not drunk, which is good. I'm joking. Alright. So, since nobody's here to talk about anything yet, and I'm not gonna talk about the UFC fight, let's talk about some things I keep hearing about Charlo. I know we're going back to Charlo and it's getting annoying, but god damn it, there's a lot of videos about how now Charlo is how Canelo is afraid of Charlo. Listen, he wasn't gonna fight Charlo right after Golovkin in December. In May, if Canelo doesn't have a big fight in May, then we can start criticizing him. If in May 2019 he doesn't fight a big, difficult challenge, then of course we have to criticize Canelo. But because Canelo's fighting, who's he fielding this December? It's not a reason to start criticizing the guy. All right. Oh, I thought somebody sent me a message. All right. So yeah, let me get comfortable.
I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
I knew this was gonna happen, man. The Charlo. Oh, Trap Meat in the house. BDA Boxing, what's up? What's the business? It's no business, man. Just doing a show. I think I sent you the link. No, I didn't. Most people are gonna watch the UFC fight. I'm gonna try to catch a Better BF fight. Trap Media says BDA stands for Better Done American. Of course. Kenichi says, I knew it would happen. Yes, it was an eventuality. It was supposed to happen. We know their behavior. And we expected this. I mean... Hold on, getting a message here. Oop. Anyways, I can check my phone until people show up, because then it's gonna be total silence. So yeah, listen, yeah, alright. Let's move on from the Charlo Canelo thing, Kyle Golovkin, the Trinity, that Holy Trinity. It's enough. Okay, I think you guys get my point. Mean Machine says, did anyone catch Sor Rungvisai? No, I didn't. But who was he fighting anyways? Was it a bomb? I think it was a bomb. I hope Rungvisai fights in the US again. I wonder what's going to happen with the Superfly tournaments. Or tournaments, sorry. The Superfly events. That was pretty interesting. Now that HBO is not going to be showing that anymore. I could see that happening on the zone. That would be pretty interesting. I also read that Canelo might fight on HBO. But then again, Eddie Hearn says that the possibility of Canelo fighting on the zone is still there. So anything can happen. I don't know. Where do you guys want to see Canelo fight next? I'd like to see him on ESPN. He has much more viewers, a wider reach. They have ESPN Spanish, which is pretty big. They already, if you watch ESPN Spanish, you're gonna see there's a lot of boxing coverage. I mean, they have 2 shows, one with Marquez, and then the other one is with Chavez Sr., obviously. One is recorded in Mexico City, the other one is recorded in California, if I'm not mistaken. And, I mean, do you even have 2 boxing TV shows or programming on ESPN English? I don't know. I don't think so. It's only with ESPN Spanish. So, listen, Canelo with ESPN would be huge, man. And I think ESPN would be willing to spend the money necessary to acquire Canelo Alvarez. Mean Machine says Iran something. Iran Diaz. So Iran something. Nobody knows who he was. Jason Bourne says, didn't HBO cancel boxing on their network? ESPN would make sense. Yes, it would. Now, imagine this. We know HBO's dead. They're going to have one more event, one more fight with Danny Jacobs and Devrachenko. But what if, instead of that being their last fight, their goodbye fight, it's Canelo against Devrachenko on HBO? Not pay-per-view, just HBO regular. Because, let's be honest, who's going to pay for this crap? Unless, like Nopal said in the last show, it's going to be $10. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me just finish something before I introduce Trap Media. What if Canelo... what if HBO's last boxing fight, it's Canelo Alvarez? That would make sense. That would be a nice goodbye for HBO. But anyways, that's just a fucking theory. We have to wait and see what happens. What's up, Trap?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Just here doing a sort of a countdown for the UFC event and maybe also the boxing event that we have tonight. But it's just a relaxed show. There's no main topic or anything, so we can talk about whatever.
It's a few fights on right now. I think this is the Vargas card what I'm watching.
Oh yeah, it's already started. I thought it was at 9.
Yeah, I think this is just the early part. Right
okay.
now, it's the women fighting. The Big Baby fight hasn't even come on yet. That's something I'm looking for. I don't know why people are not talking about the Big Baby fight. I like Big Baby. I think he's good
that
boxing.
fight. Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about anything. We have also in the Hangouts boxing scorecard. What's up, man?
Hi guys, I'm here with my bro and my friend. I'm not alone, so we are waiting for the UFC card. I just got in on your program, and that's it. I hope you're doing fine.
We hope you're doing well as well. Give us your prediction for McGregor Khabib.
Oh well, that's fucked up because I think that. Okay, so first of all, I'm not a big, I'm not a knowledgeable UFC guy, so I don't know shit about the MMA, but I think that people are favoring Khabib for a reason, and the bookies too. So I think he's a favorite, but for some reason I would favor McGregor, and maybe also because I prefer McGregor style than all the wrestling on the ground. So I'll be rooting for McGregor, but
wrestling bears.
It's going. It's kinda 60-40 in Khabib's favor, or 55-45, something like that. I'd favor Khabib a bit.
All right.
Another
Khabib.
reason many are picking Khabib outside of Connor's layoff is because Connor's a good counter puncher, and they don't feel like Khabib is going to give them, those initial lead shots to counter. So that's another reason why many experts are picking them. But I got Connor. I got my money on Connor. I think if you're trying to get you some money, like on the Canelo fight, these are the odds you want to do it. If you're just getting into betting, go place your bets right now. I think it's a plus 150. If you bet 100, you can win 150. So go get you some money on this fight, man. I mean, I think it's not a bad risk when you talk about one of the most legendary fighters in the MMA, a guy who's crossed over and had some experience with boxing, brown belt and jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's pretty much skilled in most of the facets of it, pretty decent. So I mean, I just don't think Connor's a bad bet right now. And then he's used to the pressure, used to the amount of fans in the arena, used to the big events, and that's something that Khabib is going to be new to Khabib. Can he adjust to that and keep his nerves in control?
That's a good point. Nobody ever mentioned that, or that I heard of. Fighting under the bright lights for the first time. I did see the weigh-in, and there was a huge crowd for the weigh-in. It reminded me of Canelo against Mayweather, where they had to open a whole MGM Grand just for the weigh-in. And during that weigh-in, Khabib's face, at some point he looked at the crowd, and Khabib's face looked, and he took like a deep breath. Like he was kind of feeling the moment. I don't know. That's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, I seen the overwhelm. Khabib, like it's definitely something new to him, and yeah, he didn't seem all. I wouldn't say he seemed as calm as normal, but it's also a lot of tension is going on. That's why he tried to cool it down, because he had been throwing some insults towards the Irish, and I don't know what this historic tension is, but even guys like Brendan Schaub said he didn't want to go to the fight because of whatever's going on with the Irish and the Russians. I'm not sure what's the historical background on that though.
I don't know. Is there?
Schaub seen, Brendan Schaub, he got the podcast, he be on Joe Rogan sometimes. He said it's a very big tension between the Irish and the Russians.
Never heard that.
There's some feud.
I never heard that. Well, I know, when it comes to soccer, football, Russians are pretty crazy. The Irish, well, they like to drink, right? So it's a recipe for potential disaster. Well, who knows, man? I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think there's like a legendary feud between the Russians and the Irish fans. I've never heard that before. But wow, the fact that Schaub is not going to the fight, that tells you something, man. Maybe he knows something that we don't.
Yeah, he said you couldn't pay him to come to this fight. He said he's just too worried about something breaking out in the stands. He said whatever's been building up, I'm not sure what it is, because I had never heard of Russians and Irish having issues either. And then I guess they have been trading remarks, like Khabib would say things about the Irish, and then Connor's been calling Russians terrorists and stuff like that. So,
wow, getting racial. In the chat, X is saying Conor is a white devil and Khabib is my Muslim brother. Hamed is my Muslim brother too. Mean Machine says Conor crossed the line talking about the war. Did you hear anything about Conor talking about the war or Chechnya or something?
Dazik something. I think it was something like that. I know it was insults about grandparents. I know it. I think somebody brought up somebody's dead father, something like that. Like it got real personal, and that's when they start trading insults about each other's countries and stuff like that. And then he went on to call them, "Look at the terrorists."
Oh. In the chat, Mehrab K said, "Sorry if I fucked up your name." He says the feud is mainly between Team Conor and Team Khabib. Conor has been linked to Vladimir Putin, while Khabib has been linked to Kadriasov, who is a Chechen dictator. There's a whole Russians against Chechen thing. And I guess because I saw Conor McGregor take a picture with Vladimir Putin, somehow he's tied in with Putin, and well, because Khabib is a Chechen, there's some tensions there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I know who B was. He was definitely wearing his Islam at the
Mm.
weigh in on the last weigh in too. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it
Now, you think this fight's gonna be fought standing up or on the ground?
either. I think it just depends on how Connor for his feints. I would say feints and the jab, and he's gonna have to earn that respect. He's gonna have to make him respect his power. Like as soon as he tries, because I expect him to kind of try to prowl his way in. And when he does go for it, he's going to have to put something on him to make some respect that power and think twice about it in the future rounds. And I think when he first tries, I can see it right now in my head, him trying to wrap him up, kind of pushing it back up. He has to make him respect that power. That's why I say work his feints good, make him respect the power, keep moving around. But I think Connor can control the pace. I think he definitely can control the pace. And I don't, even if he gets to the ground, I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people think. I think Connor's gonna shock a lot of people. I think that's something he's been practicing for, and I think he's one of those guys that will want to prove like I beat him at his game. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what the headline would be amazing if Connor beat him on the ground. You know what I mean? So it would
But
just
that's
take
kind of
the
dangerous. You
legend of
think he would
Conor
take that risk?
McGregor to the next level.
Do you think McGregor would take that risk just to, prove that he can beat Khabib in any type of
I
fashion?
heard he's I heard he's been preparing for it, and I think his ego would definitely make him test those waters.
Hmm, interesting. I also heard that Khabib can actually hold him, like he has a good stand up, and he can actually
Yeah,
beat McGregor standing up. I don't know about that. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan, so
yeah.
I'll let you
I mean, though
explain this.
he said he's planning. His team said they're definitely planning to strike. They're not shying away because it's Conor McGregor. So I mean, some people call it an elementary strike. I think his strike is pretty decent. But he's definitely said he's not shying away from throwing his hands just because they're fighting Conor McGregor. So that's
Mm,
both guys. I think they want to prove that they're the best. I expect a great performance from both guys. I think they're both going to give their all because like I said, he's focused. He stays at home with his parents. Doesn't seem to be one of those guys who going out and doing too much. Connor seems more locked in. He hasn't really been talking as much leading up. He's getting a little bit more hype now that we're here.
mhm.
I think both are well prepared for both fights, and I think maybe the guy that you expect to win a stand up could maybe lose a little bit or not dominate as much as people think, and the guy that you expect to win on the ground, it could be vice versa. So I think both guys are well prepared. It's just a matter of I edge Connor because of the moment. He's been in this moment before, and I think that plays a big part.
All right. So that's the one thing that sort of convinces you that McGregor has the edge, the
Yeah,
experience.
Yeah, I think it's just nothing. You can't simulate this. You can't simulate the stage. You
Hmm.
can't simulate the hype of the fans. You can't simulate when the lights are this big. Like this is your time, and then you're talking about retiring after this fight. When you start talking like that, it's dangerous. It can either push you to that next level to have a movie like ending, or maybe you checked out a little bit too soon. Maybe that's something you should have saved to say after you won, but maybe not been talking about it before the fight. So there's a lot of talk about him leaving the sport after this fight. Like this is his walk away. If he'll be as far as he'll be.
Why is he retiring so early? I checked that his age is 30 years.
Yeah, I think he's fulfilled. He pretty much he doesn't live beyond his means. Still stays with his parents. Will go out undefeated and will go out. I mean, how much bigger can you get than beating Conor McGregor and an undefeated record? This is just the icing on the cake for him. So because he's not, evidently he's not spending too much, so he
Hmm.
can survive. So this would be it. This is the checkpoint. What better way to end the movie than beating Conor McGregor?
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. Let me introduce somebody to the Hangouts.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
What's up, Cameron?
What's going on?
Excited about the fights?
I've been watching all the boxing all day, man. I watched the Rogan side card earlier on. I watched the fights tonight. Don't think I'm going to stay up and watch the zone card. I know it's already happening. I'll probably watch that tomorrow when I get up because it's just been boxing all day. I don't know if anybody else watched the Rogan side card. It was in Bangkok earlier on. It was one championship. It was a good fight. Rogan side defended his WBC title, his third defense against Aran Diaz, who's got some chin. I put a lot of stuff on Twitter during the fight. Rogan side looked. I think he underestimated Diaz a bit. You know, he was walking forward and he was relentless with pressure, like we see on Rogan side. But you know, he was leaving himself open. You know, I think he was so content on getting a knockout. He was so convinced that Diaz couldn't go the distance because he was so inexperienced. And you know, I think he kind of left his defense a bit leaky. He's going to have to improve. Obviously, he's fighting Estrada in a rematch early next year. That's verbally agreed to. So, you know, Rogan side goes on. That was a good fight. There was a fight card over here tonight, which was really bad. It's literally just finished. It's gone a bit late. I don't think I'll stay up for the Khabib and McGregor fight. I think I'll sleep. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that.
All right. Yeah, some people mentioned the rugby side card, but I didn't see that. Come on.
Oh yeah, I watched the fight. I mean, it was streamed on. I mean, obviously it was one championship, so it was in Japan, so you couldn't actually. No, sorry, most of the events were in Japan, but it was in Thailand. This one, Ramazai headlined it. It was all kickboxing and Muay Thai on the undercard.
What the?
But I'll tell you one thing: one championship, they do good production. The production was good. The crowd was booming. I put a few videos on Twitter during the fight because the crowd was that good. I don't know. I never miss Rogan side fights. I mean, he's one of the most exciting fighters in the sport for me. You know, he's never had a dull fight, so that's why I tuned in. Definitely the best fight of the day and the night. I mean, let's be real. I mean, the DAZN card's not exactly good tonight, is it? Let's be real. I mean, what the most attractive fight on that is probably better BF Johnson, and you know, I guess Ryan Man and McDonald's okay, but the main event is horrendous. And you know, I mean, Jarrell Miller's in a shocking fight. You know, terrible matchmaking. But you know, I guess we'll see what happens at the DAZN card.
Who did you want Baby Miller to fight?
I want to see him fight someone. I mean, this is a step back for him. I mean, Thomas Adamek's been shot for years. He got knocked out by Eric Molina a few years ago. This is a step back from Duhapar, Wack, Washington that Miller's been facing over the last 18 months. Adamek is a big step back. You know, he should be fighting somebody like, why not throw him in there with Luis Ortiz? That's a good fight. Why not put him in there with someone like that?
He don't want. He said he doesn't want that fight.
I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame him. There's nothing in it for him, but he needs to. I mean, what? Come on, man. Adamek, I know you're kind of intrigued by Baby Miller trap, but this is a step back for him, man. You got to admit this is a bad fight.
Yes, it's a step back. No, I'm saying I'm intrigued by. I think he articulates himself well. I think that he moves very good to be that weight. I'm not really impressed by his power. I think he's definitely just like Dillian White avoiding Ortiz because they see him as a big risk. And maybe not a high enough payday for each of them. I don't think either one of them wants that fight. But I think if one of them takes that fight and they can win that fight, it takes them to that next level. It gets them, like, they're both at the same level right now. But if one of them beats Ortiz, it could take them, one of them that one notch up, that one notch behind AJ and Wilder. So, and it puts them in line, like Wilder said, beat Ortiz, and you get to go. You get one of the gooses. So
this is a lose-lose situation, though. Like for Miller tonight, like he gets nothing out of this win. I mean, he's not going to get credit for beating Adamek. If he looks bad, he looks bad. If he wins and looks great, nobody's going to really care. Adamek's just, sure, he's not a heavyweight. He's a career light heavyweight and cruiserweight. He's not a good opponent. I mean,
he's outweighing him 100 pounds. He needs to knock him out. If he doesn't knock him out, this is bad. 100 pounds? Come on, man. You have to get a stop.
Yeah, but he's it's heavyweight. Like more weight also means you're fucking slow. You get tired quickly.
No, but it's the opposite for him. When he was smaller, he got more tired and he was slower. The more weight he seems to gain, the quicker he gets. So he's an anomaly. You know, that's why I say for him, maybe they need to make a new rule, just like they made a rule when Kareem could dunk and nobody else could dunk. They might need to make a rule for Baby, because I'm not sure what's going on, but how he's gained. You know, he's just gaining all this weight, but you know, he's gaining muscle. He's gaining a lot of weight with muscle, and he's not losing anything. And it's unfair for you to be outweighing a guy that's 100 pounds. That's like you having a 200-pound fighter fighting a guy that's 90 pounds, right? Or that's fighting in the 105-pound division or something like that. Like, come on, man.
Hey, Trap, when that rule that happened with Kareem Abdul, was the rim 12 feet at that time, and they took it down to 10 feet?
I'm not sure. I
think that's what it was. It used to be 12 feet high. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, because I think
just off topic. Just off topic.
Now.
No, just off topic. I don't know if anyone notices, but Lewis Neary's actually fighting tonight. 12-round bantamweight fight. Not a meaningful fight, but I think it's good to see Lewis Neary back in the ring.
Hold on, but not leaving this. Nobody else on the panel sees nothing wrong with being over 100. Like, come on now, like 100 pounds. Like, it's different.
I think
that is crazy.
Sorry, yeah. I was gonna say that.
He's gonna smash Adamek to pieces.
I don't want to make I don't want to keep creating like new weight classes, but there should be like a heavyweight limit. How about 250, 260 the most?
265, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of unethical.
Like the UFC has a limit
for Gerald Miller to outweigh his opponents, and I get it. It's not like he's sparking dudes out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's doing that, but he does have a huge weight advantage. And to Trap's point, there is some evidence that when he was 265, as in compared to 315 pounds now, which is that's just insane. That at 265, he looked like he was like he would run out of gas pretty quickly. Where at 315, he looks like he's, for whatever reason, he's able to keep into these fights, and he's pretty mobile for that kind of size. It just gives him a weight advantage. Like, I'm not sure if Joshua or Wilder could hurt this dude.
I was thinking the same.
He is.
I was thinking the same thing, because
what if they break their hand hitting him? Like, this is they like hitting him and he's just so big that it doesn't do shit to him.
Because he has so much weight that it's not like you just gonna knock him out. Like, he can lean on you all fight. Now, you might could beat him on points, but I don't see either one of those guys. I think he may be the toughest matchup for both of them. Like,
because he's 315, right? Not because of boxing skills.
Yeah, not because of boxing. Yeah, because he's so big. That's what I'm saying.
He's so big. Yeah, he's just so big.
He's on boxing skill, he's not in the top 5 heavyweight.
Right. I would have to pick Wilder and Joshua to beat him, but there might be something to that. Like, he might be just because of the size difference, they might not hurt him.
Yeah, he's gonna keep coming. That's what I see. I'm seeing it in my head. He keeps coming, and then if he leans on the rest of these guys, I mean, what you really gonna do? He's gonna lean on your whole fight. He can wear.
I'm just not sold. I'm not a big Baby fan. I mean,
we're not saying that he's great, but to be that size and be as mobile as he is, to be able to have that much output as he had the last fight. It's not that he's a great puncher. It's not that we're saying that anything as far as the technique is anything great, but to be able to move how he can at that weight, I mean, that's impressive.
I'm more impressed with Tyson Fury
Wilder until he's actually beat a legitimate heavyweight contender. That's my opinion.
Me too. Yeah, I would like to see him, beat
Ortiz or
Dillian White. Would be nice.
White,
either one.
But they don't see anyone fight each other. It's like they want to go opposite directions.
Yeah, but Trap, that's the new standard, right? The new standard is like, look, man, I got this ranking position. I don't want to lose it for low money. These guys are not scared of each other. Like, oh, you put fear in my heart, you might hurt me. It's not like that. It's just they don't want to lose their spot.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose their spot without being well compensated, and they don't see it as, you know, Luis Ortiz. They probably thinking to themselves, I could beat Ortiz, but what if I have a bad night and Ortiz beats me and I get nothing?
It's about money as well. I mean,
I don't think either one of them beats Ortiz, but yeah, Dillian White actually blocked me for bringing that fight up. Yeah, he blocked me.
fuck,
Dan Raphael blocked me. I mean, it's crazy.
Dan Raphael.
He's gonna come look for you.
The thing is about Dillian White, look, I'm not going to say that Dillian White couldn't beat someone like Luis Ortiz. Like, you know, I mean, I think that, you know, Luis Ortiz, I've never been completely sold on Ortiz, like a lot of people are. Just because the fact he's not beat anybody of relevance apart from Brian Jennings, who's
Cuban.
Not beat anybody.
He's Cuban.
I give those guys.
I don't care if he's Cuban. I don't care if he's Cuban.
Hey, I don't care
but I mean,
I give those guys a great shot of beating him.
Yeah,
but to Brad's point, I don't know. I can't say for sure though.
Yeah, we're not necessarily saying resume, but you know, at some point you have to your eye test. You know what you see, and what I see is, you know, one of the most skilled guys, definitely in the division.
The only thing that I see from Ortiz is that, and granted, Wilder, he's old, and granted, Wilder's a different ball game, I believe, compared to White and
for sure,
and this guy, Big Baby. But he was wearing down in that fight, and he was having success, but he was still wearing down in that fight.
But when you getting hit with that power, I mean, you gonna wear down.
No, I totally agree with you. But remember, Dillian White, even though I don't think he's as powerful as those guys, but he can hit you, and I could see him catching Ortiz later in the fight and keeping Ortiz hurt. You know what I'm saying? That could happen. Big Baby just might fucking just puts like we were saying earlier.
I give Big Baby the edge.
Yeah. I'll probably give him the edge
over White. I give it, like, if we were saying who was going to do better versus Ortiz, I would say Big Baby because of that.
This is what I would do. This is what I would take right now. I would give Dillian White and Dillian White versus Ortiz 50-50 fight. I'm going to give the slight edge to Big Baby over Ortiz. That's the way I see it right now.
Based on the fact that he's like 60 years old?
Because of boxing.
Going the distance, right?
Going the distance. He might, let's say if he stops Ortiz, it ain't going to be because it was a vicious punch. It's going to be, this dude is too big. He's just laying all over me. He's throwing punches. I'm too old.
Too young, too fresh.
Yeah, I'm too old to keep fighting. It ain't going to be like what Wilder did. It's not going to be like, you know, a punch on top of the head and he can't continue.
Yeah, because he's gonna keep walking forward against any of these guys. I don't see you. If he's this weight, he's not. He's not stopping. That's what he was saying in the interview with Dillian. Like, he's like, you never seen nobody that's just gonna keep walking through everything you throw, and that's his plan. It just mentally, it's not that same aggression as Porter, but he's always in your face. You're not gonna get him off you. So actually,
that's a good comparison.
I was thinking, yeah, I mean, the only issue I have with Big Baby is no, I've got an issue with Big Baby. I mean, I think he's, you know, a good solid fighter. This fight tonight is just a shambolic fight. You know, Adamek is just bad, man. I don't know why they've made this fight. They could have got anybody. They could have got anybody they wanted. They could have got a legitimate heavyweight. Doesn't have to be anyone that's going to give them a risk. Because they want, you know, just get somebody. Don't get a former light heavyweight champion who's going to be outsized by 100 pounds. What's he gain from this fight? Tell me, what does Jarrell Miller gain from this fight?
Exposure,
tonight, apart from a few
activity.
He may because of this Wilder Fury fight, the counter chess move may be AJ versus Miller. So I think they're just trying to let him do his interviews, build his profile that way, and then, you know, if he can capture New York even more and capture a little bit more of America because of how he talks, look good in this fight, and maybe he gets the fight at Wembley over Dillian White, because Dillian White didn't get a good vote in the poll with the three.
But if Deontay Wilder, with his style, with his power, the way he talks, can't get a big following in the US, nobody is.
No, he doesn't talk like Big Baby though. It's more forced. Big Baby's just fluent. It's just, you know, oh, this fat motherfucker talking shit. Like, it's different. Deontay's is a bit more forced, But Big Baby just is fluent when he talks. It's a bit
No,
more
nobody
smooth.
wants to see. No one wants to see Jarrell Miller against Anthony Joshua next. Nobody wants to see that fight, especially coming off a win over Adamek. I'd rather see Dylan White the rematch than Jarrell Miller against Anthony Joshua. I think a lot of people would say the same.
But it's the same fan base, though. You know, you're appealing to a different fan base with Big Baby.
Jarrell Miller's not popular in the US though. Like, he's not going to sell anything against Joshua, is he? Like, what's he going to bring? He's not going to bring the US pay-per-view sales, is he?
I don't know. He's getting bigger. He's not like, I wouldn't say he's huge, but I would say his interviews are doing very well. His numbers on it is showing his popularity is growing. I would say that.
Could Jarrell Miller sell any arena out in the US headlining?
I mean, really, outside of Floyd, we already didn't discuss this. You know, we're not about to go back into this. Everybody else has a nationality. You're dealing with a group of people who that was stripped from them when it came over.
Jarrell Miller against the right.
No, let's get into it. Let's get racial.
Nobody cares, man. That's the thing.
No, of course. But Jarrell Miller needs a big win. He needs like in order for him to get like that kind of crowd behind him, and it's still probably because America's not big on boxing anymore. It's just they're not.
Outside of foreigners, you know, because they're supporting.
They love their fighters.
Yeah, their nationality.
Their nationality, and even in certain countries, like they just love boxing more now. You know, they're more into it than they don't have as many sports. Yeah. You know, boxing's competing against football, baseball, basketball. You know,
but that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Nobody gives a fuck about boxing right now in America. I mean, everybody trying to go see the Lakers. Kyrie, what's Kyrie gonna do?
Yeah, but listen, that's bullshit. But boxing fights always take place, for the most part, like 99% of the time, on a Saturday night. Rarely do you have an overlap of another game playing at the same time.
It's basketball games, all you know.
Well, basketball.
Yeah, but no. But at during the main event, it's over. You can watch it. The main events. Look at this, man. Like UFC is like at 10. The De La Hoya Golovkin. Sorry, De La Hoya Golovkin.
Versus.
But there's no interest. Like it
you got the Golden State Warriors versus the Lakers with LeBron.
Yeah, but that's
America's gonna watch that.
But I'm saying it's on regular TV, Bucho. It's more marketed. Every time you turn the first tape, they're talking about the NBA. Every time you turn to Skip and Shannon show, they're talking about the NBA. They have storylines. They know these players since they were kids. The AAU program. You feel like they're part of the family. You don't know these boxers.
Let me tell you something.
For this new generation, you have no attachment to a boxer for the most part, outside of Floyd.
That's not because there's more sports. It's because boxing is not promoted properly,
the right way.
Exactly. No, it's not because people. Right.
Yeah, go ahead. And UFC does a much better job at it because you can constantly
there you
see
go.
UFC all the time. You see Daniel Cormier, like he's doing the commentary on just looking at old fights and stuff like that. Every time I turn through the TV, I always see the UFC. And if boxing took a page, if Dana White had boxing right now, boxing would be in a better position. But
if Jarrell Miller, let me say something about Jarrell. If Jarrell Miller, right, if he had sort of any sort of natural ability or potential to be a decent draw in the US, why didn't Eddie Hearn have him headline his first DAZN card tonight? Why has he put Jesse Vargas, Thomas Alorme as headliner?
He's still built. I'm not
that's bullshit, man. Come on now.
Is that the headliner?
Who is he fighting? Because I mean, Delorme and what's the name?
Jesse Vargas is fighting Delorme. He's headlining over Jarrell Miller.
He's the next Trinidad, the next Felix Tito Trinidad.
Who cares, man? Like Jarrell Miller should be if he's going to be the draw. If he's going to be one of the better draws for Hearn, or he's got this potential to be a draw in the US, or get a potential Joshua fight. Why isn't he headlining? Why isn't Hearn putting him on a headliner?
Listen, Sean Porter fight is a bit more magnifying. He's trying to prop up Vargas for that fight with Sean Porter.
But Hearn doesn't get anything from that. He knows that Vargas ain't going to beat Porter, man. He knows that. Like, why isn't he putting Jarrell Miller as a headliner if he's got so much potential?
Maybe Sean Porter signs to the zone.
This is all if and buts, like, man.
Huh?
If Eddie Hearn really fought. Eddie Hearn's a solid. Like, I'll give Eddie Hearn a lot of stick, but he knows what he sees. If Jarrell Miller had any sort of potential in a draw, he would be the headliner tonight.
This is the last fight it's the last fight on his contract, so he's gonna have to renegotiate after this.
Who's this? Who's the last fight?
Big Baby.
Big Baby.
It's the last fight, like on the contract, and after this, they're gonna re-up. I mean, they're gonna either decide to re-up or what he's gonna do next.
Go another direction.
Yeah, so I mean, that may be it too. Maybe he doesn't want to prop him up too big until he has a longer term commitment.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, promoters have a way of like kind of sending a message because it doesn't make no sense. Jesse Vargas, Delorme, fucking. I haven't heard Delorme's name since he got knocked out by Terrence Crawford.
Because he was the co-main event, but they put him down even further. But he's been talking about Eddie a lot, like calling Eddie a liar and stuff like that. So maybe
Who's this baby, right? Big baby.
In most of his interviews, he's coming at Eddie Hearn. So I didn't know whether that was scripted, but maybe it's real.
No, it's real. It's real. That's why he's getting demoted. That because the Jesse Vargas and Delorme thing doesn't make no sense. That being the
shit fight.
That just don't make sense. I mean, Delorme has been irrelevant for a long time. I mean,
he's never been relevant.
Never been relevant.
Didn't Delorme fight Porter? Didn't he fight Porter already?
Who's this?
Who?
Delorme.
No,
he fought Crawford. I know that.
He fought Crawford. He got beat up by Crawford.
Destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the one that lost to Abregu, right?
Yeah, Abregu.
Yeah.
Abregu was the first guy that
yeah.
He was undefeated. HBO was trying to prop him up, like this.
The next Trinidad.
Puerto Rican, Trinidad, yeah, right. All right, let's see.
This is why I'm not staying up to watch this card tonight because this whole card is gash. I mean, the only decent fight on there with any sort of appeal is better BF Johnson. That's because it's 2 undefeated guys and it's better BF. The whole entire card is gash. The whole thing's trash. I know it's Eddie Hearn's first DAZN card, but look, it's not a good event. I mean, I know it's the first one, and give Hearn the benefit of the doubt, but there should be a better headliner than Jesse Vargas, Thomas Delorme. In fact, you could put either Daniel Rahman, Gavin McDonald, Jarrell Miller, Thomas Adamek, or better BF Johnson. All three of them cards that are on the undercard are better headliners than Jesse Vargas, Thomas Delorme. I'm sorry.
Wasn't that heavyweight fight today?
What'd you say?
Wasn't there a young heavyweight that was supposed to fight today?
Yeah, Solomon on the DAZN card. He got beaten in his pro debut, the 2016.
What was his name?
Solomon. I can't remember what his first name is, but I watched it. He got destroyed by someone called Matt Cameron, a journeyman, and he got floored and he got completely shut out. And he was like the US number 1 US Olympic heavyweight or something, whatever the hell it was, and he got destroyed.
God damn, that's called bad matchmaking, man.
But big baby, I'm intrigued by this fight, even though it's who it's against. I just want to see Big Baby for some reason. I mean, I like the interviews, man. I want to see Big Baby. I want to see him go in there, do the cheeseburger shuffle.
You've got a thing for Baby Miller, man.
I think Big Baby is the next. He's a star.
He's a star. What are you doing? Okay, come on.
He's the Adrian Broner of the heavyweight division.
Jesus Christ, man. Baby Miller.
What's going on here, man?
You know what? Look, I'm not sold on him yet, but
not talent.
I'm not gonna totally dismiss him because he moves good for a fucking guy 300 and something pounds. And one thing I know about dudes that are really that big and they can move fast, they have a significant advantage over guys that they outweigh by a whole lot. Even if they don't have talent, they don't have the talent.
You can talk. You can have the talk. You can talk well. You can sell yourself well. All you want. If you ain't got the actual in-ring ability to do anything, you're not going anywhere, man. I don't want to see Jarrell Miller fight Anthony Joshua because he talks well. I want to see him fight Anthony Joshua because he has the potential to beat him, and he doesn't.
I think that's a good fight. I think that's a debatable fight. He's 6'4". He has a 78 reach. He's 317 pounds. I think that's a very good fight. 21-0, 82% knockout percentage. Listen, Big Baby versus Anthony Joshua.
All right, hey, guess what? There's a Chinese fighter, heavyweight, who's like 7'1", 250 or something, or maybe more. I mean, does that matter how big he is? Like I said, this is a heavyweight division.
Because he can move. He can move though. This guy, he's not big.
I don't know, man. I don't know why his last fights,
he's just a total bum. He's not a bum at all.
Have you been impressed with Baby Miller Be honest. In his last 2 fights, have you been impressed with Baby Miller?
I wanted the knockout, but I was impressed in spurts. I was impressed in spurts.
Is that enough for him to
I
become
wanted him to knock
bigger
out
than what he
Tupac.
is? Is that enough for him to become bigger than what he is with those types of performances? And can that type of performance allow him to be competitive against a Wilder, a Joshua?
Oh man, he's never going to be compared against those guys.
That's a question.
I like him against Joshua. And
But not against Wilder.
Right, listen, right. Let me tell you something, right? If Jarrell Miller fought Joshua and ended up being beat Joshua, we're talking about a 317-pound man being a unified heavyweight champion. It's a fucking farce. It's a fucking farce. I'm sorry, but it is. Could you imagine like Jarrell Miller?
Cameron got pissed. I don't know, man. Yo, Trap, you pissed off Cameron. Now Cameron's so fucking.
Cameron, you hate no Big Baby, man. I think
Yeah.
I'm just being realistic, man.
Why are you hating on Baby, man?
If fucking Big Baby ends up undisputed heavyweight champion, Cameron is done. Fuck this. 317-pound fat. Fuck.
Look,
20 defenses.
I'm just being realistic, man. It's not a good look for the heavyweight division, is it? Let's be real. Jarrell Miller, go back 20 years ago, Jarrell Miller wouldn't be a top 30 heavyweight. That's what we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So,
He's big.
come on now.
Hold on,
He's big.
No. Who would
He's fat.
definitively just smash Big Baby 20? Because I don't think any of these guys definitively, like you just saying, he's gonna get smashed. Is everybody saying he's gonna get smashed by all these type of guys? Because I don't think that.
Well, what's smashed?
Like,
I think he doesn't win.
Jeez, we spent about 20 minutes talking about Jarrell Miller. What the fuck is like?
listen,
Oh,
Big Baby's gonna shock a lot of people in 2019. Trust. Watch what I say. In 2019,
I'm running it down.
You're like the American version of El Dude Trap. You just got this thing.
No. I just said yesterday. What I said yesterday. There is no more Canelo slander will be tolerated. So it's not that I just see something in Big Baby that I didn't see a few fights ago, but more and more I'm getting more compelled towards Big Baby. I think next year he only has 21 fights. Get a guy a break. He's fought some nice competitors. He's going to keep growing. Maybe by fight 25 he gets a title shot and he'll step up to that next level. I think he just has to learn better form. I want him to get a better trainer. That's all I would say. Get a better trainer.
I'm not hating. I'm just being real about this whole thing. A lot of people will share my opinion about this. I mean, if Jarrell Miller proves me, I don't mind being proved wrong. If he proves me wrong, he goes in there and actually proves that he can be at the top level. Fine, but I've not seen anything in him. I mean, look, he's on a decent run. Like Washington, Duapar. I mean, he's put a nice little run together. You know what I mean? So he's on the verge of a title shot because of that. But I want to see him get one win against someone.
Real quick, catch another one. El Trap.
Look.
That's his new name, El Trap.
Look, so do you have Dillian White being Big Baby, Cam? Or where do you rank Big Baby amongst those heavyweights? But do you have Dillian White being?
I want to be confident picking Dillian White against Jarrell Miller.
You would be?
Probably one of the best fights in the 50-50 fight, man. Dillian White, Jarrell Miller.
I don't know. Well, is it 50? Maybe, yeah. I'll say maybe a 50-50 fight.
It's a close fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a close fight.
So he's not a scrub. That's all.
No, of course.
I'm not saying he's a screw. I'm just saying that he's not beating anybody of note, in my opinion, to kind of warrant that of this talk of fighting Joshua or something like that. That's what I'm saying.
Recognize. Is it crazy to think that he can be competitive in these fights? I don't think that's crazy.
Against Dillian White,
because of the size.
Dillian White, Ortiz, and
or even the next level because of the size and because he can move.
I agree.
No,
I would agree.
I talk well. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna spend a good few. I'm gonna go on the Dan Raphael diet, and that means I'm gonna be compared with Josh in a few years. I'm gonna see if that works.
No, but Cameron, there's a difference. Okay, look, everybody's different. If you're not used to carrying a certain kind of weight, is if you just get bloated. It's going to affect you. It might affect you differently, but for whatever reason, he's one of those guys that it's not bothering him at all. Not bothering.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm having a bit of banter about this Jarrell Miller thing. It's only because I wanted to bring it up because I've noticed on the last few podcasts, chat's been when we talk about other things, chat's been like, "What about this Big Baby? What about Jarrell Miller?" You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, so I kind of wanted to see what it's about. Jarrell Miller, I don't hate the guy. I think Jarrell Miller is actually a character. You know, the division lacks characters. Jarrell Miller's a character, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean I don't want to see him fight a top guy because he has character. I want to see him fight because, you know, he shows he's got something. He's on the verge, you know what I mean? He's on the verge. He's got a nice little run going, but I want to see him fight someone like a Dylan White, a Luis Ortiz. And if he beats them, then like, you know what? This guy deserves a title shot. But beating Thomas Adamek for me, nah.
And once he beats one of those guys, or even a Joe Parker, if he comes back on, I want you to come back on.
Joe Parker, yeah. Joe Parker be a good win.
And I want you to come back on the podcast and be like, you know what? I was wrong about that, baby.
Oh yeah, man. I'm always listen, man, whenever I'm wrong, I always say I'm wrong, man. But until you know what I mean, I'm not saying he's got no ability. I'm just saying he's got beat nobody for me to say he can fight an Anthony Joshua next, man. I think there's other guys out there.
What did you think about his? What did you think about his fight against Gerald Washington?
I thought he was impressive. I thought he was impressive against Washington, Wack, and Duopar.
Yeah, I thought with Duopar, I was a little disappointed with that fight.
Yeah, I would say.
I think Duopar is not that bad an opponent though. Like I don't think Duopar is that bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't think
chat,
I mean, look.
The Shepherd's Son says even Miller bones are made out of fat.
Duopar's no butt.
No, I agree.
Hey guys, in the chat, the Shepherd of Son says even Baby Miller's bones are made out of fat.
Listen, I know McDonald's or Burger King better give him a sponsorship soon. I can see Big Baby with a cartoon. I can see Big Baby on Sesame Street. But no, for real, Big Baby has personality.
Trap is like a salesman, yo.
Yeah.
Trap, do you know what?
Trap. You in the wrong business. You need to be promoting. That's what you need to be doing. Right now.
Trap. You could
Big Baby in the morning.
You could turn. The way Trap talks about Baby Miller, if he's on a promotional deal, you could make Jarrell Miller the Conor McGregor of boxing in terms of marketability.
Look, if he keeps winning,
go on ESPN and be like, "Yo, let me tell you about Big Baby."
He's 317 pounds. He talks well.
Force of nature, okay.
Hey, man, give Big Baby.
He's got the Muhammad Ali afro going. He's the real deal.
No, but you know, he's just a. I mean, the guy was he's also kickbox too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he's like a. I have a feeling maybe kickboxing was more his thing. It could have been.
Quags in the chat says Miller's undefeated at the buffet.
John Gonzalez says Big Baby will look like Fat Albert.
You have a great cartoon. It would be entertaining. I can see it right now. You can get him one PG because remember, he had the girl with cancer with him. He had that little run going on, so he's good with the kids. Or you could either put him on a Sesame Street type show, or you could put him on the
I can see. You know what? I can see him on Sesame Street.
What the fuck is going on here?
Put him on Sesame Street.
I mean, listen, he has a great report. I mean, y'all didn't like the little script that they had with him and the girl with cancer. I mean, that was something nice, man.
Letter F for fat ass.
Listen, Jarrell Miller. Listen, man. If Jarrell Miller is a talented fat man, all right, I'll give him that.
Listen, Big Baby.
No, if he had like skills like James Toney and that big, he'll be a fucking star.
Can you imagine Jarrell Miller having the footwork of Pernell Whitaker at 317 pounds?
God damn. or the kind of move, but if he had the upper body movement of a James Toney, holy shit! Imagine that. Imagine that sight. 317 pounds.
I want to see Jarrell Miller I want to see Jarrell Miller have the athleticism of a prime Sergio Martinez with that footwork in and out. You know what I mean?
I want to see him work with Derek James. I want to see him just get more precision in his punch because he's not going to get any more power. But I think if he learns how to sit on his punches properly and hit his accuracy, if he can work on his accuracy, I think that takes him to the next level.
Shepherd of Sun says, Shepherd of Sun says, Trap would be the only person in the solar system watching. I think he's on about Jerome Ritter on Sesame Street.
Violence News Network says, imagine Miller KOing Colonel Sanders for touching his swell feast.
KFC commercial.
Look. So y'all saying it's out of the question that Big Baby will ever be a big star in boxing because I think
if he beats Wilder, yeah.
If he beats Joshua Wilder, yeah, we're talking.
Then there's nothing. None of the jokes we have about him doesn't matter anymore.
I'll still be joking about him being a fat man, but
I'll be like, yo, he's fat, but that's
the fat jokes will never end.
Imagine Jarrell Miller being the heavyweight champion of the world, like the unified, undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. Just imagine that. Jarrell Miller beats Wilder, Fury, and Josh Reed, takes on the world. He does it all. Amazing story.
Baby Miller, the movie.
I don't see anybody to definitively beat. Now, old Fury would box circles around him. Old, like Fury before coming back, I think he would box circles around him. But right now, I don't see that guy that's just gonna box circles around Big Baby, wear him out to the point where you can't touch him. I think everybody else, he's gonna give him a competitive fight.
German Persian says Miller should fight Andy Ruiz. Let's see if he can pick on someone his own size. Well, because Andy Ruiz has got tits as well.
Yeah. But he's way smaller though.
I don't know, man. I see something different in Big Baby, and I didn't really like Big Baby at first, but something about recently, you know, he sold me. He sold me, and I see something.
What is it?
And I think Big Baby's gonna shock a lot of people next year.
What sold you on Baby Miller?
It's how he's taught. It's like the heavyweight division needs somebody who can talk like that, who can move like that at that weight, who's comfortable in his skin. Like it just.
What does that have to do with anything? He's thinking like a woman.
Listen. He's marketable to a wide range of audiences. For real though, think about it.
He's charismatic. He's charismatic. Charismatic.
Skin fuck. So what? Oh no, fuck no.
I understand what Trap is saying, like the charismatic side of Baby Miller is appealing.
It's like I just want to watch. That's all I'm saying. It makes me, after his interviews, I want to watch the fight. That's what I'm saying.
There's something.
You know, like, you're Jarrell Miller's #1 fan. Let me tell you that.
I think so, man.
Yeah, talk about him being comfortable with his skin.
Bucho, you don't like Big Baby. You don't see anything positive about Big Baby.
Positive.
Yeah, I think
he's big. And
I think Trap would be the kind of guy that if he was promoting Jarrell Miller, he'd get him on, you know, where all those women do those naked shoots in front of ESPN, Mac. He'd get Jarrell Miller on the front of doing naked shoots.
But it will work. It will work for Big Baby. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're pushing him enough. I think that's what when he reads up on his contract, Eddie needs to put he needs to be on ESPN. He needs to he needs to be seen more. The more you see Big Baby, the more people are gonna tune in and watch the fights.
John Gonzalez says Trap thinks Big Baby's cute. Trap is pushing some kind of body positivity movement.
So Trap wants Baby Miller to be naked.
Listen, stop the fat shame, man. You know.
So wait. If you look at your screen, that's Bernard Hopkins doing that naked photo shoot for ESPN. That's what Trap Media is advocating for.
Himself, man. Damn. Bernard Hopkins forever played himself.
I want to see Trap do that for, like that for Baby Miller.
Shout out to Brian Jennings. He just went vegan. You know, shout out to all the vegan fighters.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, shout out to all the vegans out there. Now, Josie, you can imagine that, like Jarrell Miller on the front of ESPN Mag, and that, like, after winning the world title, I'm 317 pounds overweight, but a heavyweight champion of the world. There's hope out there for anybody who's fat.
No, but he's built well. He's not like a big sloppy one, like Butterbean type shit. I mean, he could be a bodybuilder. I mean, that's what he looks like, kind of like one of them bodybuilders to be on ESPN.
What I could tell happened with Miller was Miller used to pump a lot of weights. He used to do a lot of weights. Being a kickboxer, used to work out, especially on his. Definitely, I know he worked out on his legs. What probably happened was that, you know, as he got into boxing and just fighting all this, you know, all these years, he probably stopped the working out and just like committed to boxing more than likely, and stopped the getting his muscles tight, because that's what it looks like. He looks like he built so much muscle that now you guys know this, like muscle naturally weighs more than fat. But when you don't work out and you build all those muscles, you start to gain a lot of weight, and that's what he's doing.
Did anybody in the chat? Can somebody let me know? Did anybody in the chat? Because I know we're talking about Big Baby Miller, but did anybody in the chat? Can someone tell me if they watched the Rumvenside fight earlier on and let me know what they think about it? Because I swear to God,
I didn't even know Rumvenside had a fight today.
Yeah, he fought Oran Diaz in Bangkok on the One Championship card. It wasn't really, it wasn't like an actual boxing event. He was headlining a One Championship event. They do like Muay Thai and kickboxing and stuff. And yeah, it was a good fight. I just want to know if anybody else watched it in a chat or something, because I feel like I was the only one who watched it. I was tweeting videos during it. It was a good fight. So yeah, I just want to know if anybody else watched it and what they thought.
Yeah,
of it.
somebody
He's
did in the
fighting,
chat
him and
before you
Estrada
came
have
in.
agreed to a rematch in the early part of next year.
Yeah, someone did. Before you jumped in, somebody mentioned that fight. By the way, I forgot to introduce Guerrero. You there? Probably not.
Guerrero?
Oh shit, man, Guerrero's been on my last few shows. Is fair play, man.
Oh,
Good knowledgeable guy.
I don't know where he is
Yo,
now.
Guerrero.
Anyways,
You up? Damn.
Basically, I'm gonna upload the whole Rumble side fight on my channel maybe because I did do recording of it. So if anybody hasn't seen it, I'll post it.
just be careful with copyright.
Nah, yeah, I'll be careful, man. Yeah.
I hate YouTube now.
It was live
Yeah,
on Facebook, man. It was Facebook
Except
streamed
doing
live.
except doing this boxing podcast. That's the only. I hate doing videos now. It pisses me the fuck off.
Why?
I thought, Delp
They
in the
take
chat.
views,
Is,
I don't understand. They take views away from you. You get like these weird strikes.
That's true, man.
Like fuck all that stuff, man. One day I have 150 views. The next day I have 20 views. I'm like, yo, how do you guys do that? What the fuck is going on?
Because your name's the Matrix. They know you're awake.
Yeah, I think it's probably They're like, he's talking shit. He's talking shit.
Delp in the chat says, I thought Robinson looked good. I thought he won pretty much every round. Yeah, I thought he won. I thought I had 118, 110. The only thing is, I thought he underestimated Diaz because, you know, he was saying before that Diaz hadn't gone the distance and he was inexperienced. He was going to go for a knockout. I thought he was forcing the knockout, and I think that's why his defense was so leaky. God knows what Diaz's chin was made of because he was getting hit with every shot that Robinson has, and he took it, man. It's a good fight. Robinson, you know, in my opinion, he might have the best body, one of the best body punches in the game. Certainly, one of the most exciting fighters in the game. He always brings it.
In the chat, Del Boy's Boxing says, I felt Rungvisai looked good. Felt he won pretty much every round.
That's what I said, man. I just read his comment out.
I wasn't listening.
That's what I said, man. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Because I'm doing other shit here. I invited...
Kevin Sanzo is recognised as an undercover cop trying to take down Wada. What's that about?
I don't know, man.
He's talking about my last video.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Thanks, Shepard.
Wait, hold on.
Well,
We also have Battle Rifle. What's up, man? Battle Rifle once, twice.
Yeah, I'm here.
What up?
I had to unmute myself. I was just in the other hangout not too long ago.
Ah. So,
what you guys think of the fight, man? You know, just had to see the O'Hara Davis fight with the Catterall.
Oh, stinking fight.
Oh my God, you
shocking
never
fight.
said. I mean, you know, I've seen worse. I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend I've seen much worse. It's just that O'Hara Davis, he talked so much junk before the fight that I thought he was gonna put at least an effort. It almost reminded me of the Danny Jacobs fight when he fought that guy saying don't run and all he did was run.
You're about Selecki, no?
No, not Selecki. It was another guy.
Oh, you're about Arias, Luke Arias.
Yeah, he talked a lot of snap before the fight, talking about how he was like gonna knock him out. He was like, "Don't run, Danny Jacobs." Danny Jacobs came to this guy the whole fight. All he did was run, and he held on for dear life. And I was like,
"Yeah, O'Hara Davis. He's never heard of a right hand." I was tweeting during the fight. I said, "Can someone tell O'Hara Davis that he can actually throw that right hand? Because he didn't throw a right hand all fight."
Bro, it looked like his hand was broken, man. Like, I was like, I mean, he fought like his hand was broken because that's all he did was just throw a jab, and I'm just like, the first two rounds, it was like a draw. I gave it a draw because it was so close. My bad, I mute myself because I'm background noise.
Yeah, I had it draw. I think I had Capsule 2-1 up, then I had it 2 even, and then Capsule for me started running away with the fight because O'Hara Davis was just doing nothing. His corner was offering no actual good advice on, you know, he just couldn't adapt. I mean, that's the second time now that O'Hara Davis has fought somebody who can punch back and is defensively more responsible than he is. And he folded. He didn't know how to adapt. He had nothing to offer. And he actually said after the fight that he's retiring. So, you know, it's probably just in the heat of the moment, but he thought he won the fight and he's retiring, which is ridiculous because, you know, he didn't win that fight. Like I said during the fight, O'Hara Davis has got nobody to blame but himself, him and his corner. I don't know what the game plan was. Didn't look like they had one. I mean, Ohara Davis just has trouble with southpaws. You know, it's obvious. We've seen it now a few times. So I don't know. I just don't feel like Ohara Davis's heart is in the game, because when he needed to go in there, when he had to lay it on the line, and he had nothing to lose but try and get a knockout, he didn't throw anything. You know, he didn't put his heart in it. So yeah, I think Ohara Davis is lacking quite a lot.
Man, it's so hard to see these fighters, man. They go in that ring and they don't throw enough. Like it's just like it's bad because I don't even think he knows how to fight a southpaw. Nobody trained him how to.
I think he's just very limited offensively. Ohara Davis, like he's flashy, but if you put it on him, you know, he folds up mentally. Like it's like he's lost in the ring. Like you saw what happened with Josh Taylor. You know, he was getting outclassed and he got himself out of there. I just don't think, you know, when he's not getting things his own way, he doesn't know what to adapt. He doesn't know how to, you know, he doesn't have a plan B, a plan C. If his first plan doesn't work, he doesn't know what to do, and he kind of loses the will to win, and you know, that's what you saw in there tonight.
What do you think of Danny Dubois?
Dubois?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was even worse. I mean,
yeah, that's the one I was talking about. I was actually
yeah, he looked bad. He looked bad.
I didn't see the fight.
He won every round. How did he look bad?
Because he should look. I mean, he should have got look. Kevin Johnson from the first bell offered nothing. He wasn't throwing punches. He was a punch bag. And they talk about, you know, I know he's only 21 years old. I'm not going to be too negative on the guy, but he should have got Johnson out of there. Like he's very limited. You know, he should have worked the body more to kind of try and create those openings for his right hands. He was headhunting Johnson. Yeah, I know he's very young still. Look, he got the rounds in. He let his gas tank empty after 4 rounds, and for the rest of the fight, his work rate dropped big time. You know, there's a lot of flaws in Daniel Dubois. I mean, look, he's young. Like I said, he's 21, and Johnson is experienced. He knows how to survive. But Kevin Johnson is well past his best days, and I feel like Dubois should have got that type of opponent out of there, and he didn't. But we'll see how he develops. You know, I've seen a lot of people saying he's a future world champion. I can't say the same. You know, he's well too soon to say where he's going to go in the sport. But for me, I was pretty disappointed in his performance. I thought he should have got Johnson out of there. Johnson came to survive, but Dubois, for me, how he's been hyped up, he should have got Johnson out of there, and he didn't. But he moves on, man. You know, he got the win, he got the W, still undefeated. I feel like Dubois is one of those fighters that should be going under the radar. Like, there's a lot of hype on him, there's a lot of spotlight attention on him. He should be going under the radar. You know, he should be, you know, it's a work in progress, a big work in progress. There's a lot of pressure on him, and if Dubois has a performance where he doesn't look as good as people think, he's going to get backlash, and that's what happened tonight. I just feel like people need to take a step back on his hype and kind of realize that this guy is a work in progress, and he's not, you know, what everybody perceives him to be. He's not a new Anthony Joshua. He's not the next coming of, you know, Lennox Lewis, of what people seem to be saying. Just let this guy sort of progress at his own rate. Don't put too much pressure on the guy.
How old is he?
21.
Oh, okay, yeah, come on.
I think he's a heavyweight pretty well. It's just that, you know, it's part in the background of it, you know. But, you know, it was just Kevin Johnson. He has a really good chin. Not even Vitaly knocked him out. And he just, you know, he couldn't knock him out like people said he would. You know, Anthony Joshua, he just probably a much harder hitter than Danny Dubois. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that because heavyweights, it's a new type of power you're getting into, especially when you're a lot bigger. But I feel like he did really good. I feel like his combinations were really good. You know, probably could have went to the body a little bit more, but he was going to the body, in my opinion. It's just that, like, once you're on the ropes, it's hard to ground yourself. Because,
Khalifa in the chat says Dubois is the next Frank Bruno, for sure.
I don't know about that, man. You know, well, it may be because Frank Bruno wasn't a bad fighter. He lost to good fighters. You know, he lost to Mike Tyson. He lost to Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just like so unskilled. You know, he was a buff guy. He was kind of slow, but he wasn't just that unskilled. He lost to good fighters.
Yeah, true. I mean, Frank Bruno right now could maybe be heavyweight champion.
Oh, do you know what? I mean, I don't want to talk about the heavyweights now.
Yeah, all right. Let's move on. Better BF against who?
Callum Johnson.
Ah, yeah. Okay, so that's a knockout.
Man, that is a murder, man.
Look, I mean, but better BF's levels. You know, this guy is one of the best lightweights out there. The only thing is, right now, Better BF's only fought twice in the last 2 years, right? Sorry, this will be his second fight in 2 years. He fought Enrico Colin last November, and he looked pretty poor. I know Colin came to survive, but I felt like the inactivity kind of affected Better BF, and he's been out for another year.
He was trying to go 12.
I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I think he's in his prime years now, and he's kind of been wasted because of his lawsuit with Jim. I did a lot of interviews with Better BF. I did a lot of stuff with him. I'm quite close to his team because of all the work I did with him. I don't. If he's Better BF, if he's the Better BF we know, he'll win this fight with ease tonight. But the inactivity kind of worries me with him because of where he's at with his career, his age, and he's in his prime years. He should be active. I'm just hoping now he's signed a deal with the Zone that we see him being active. We see him fighting more regularly because I feel like this guy could be, definitely one of the top light heavyweights. No one can dispute that. He's a champion. We've seen him. He's a good amateur. He's destroyed everybody who's been in the ring. We've knocked him out. Let's see how good this guy really is. Can he be the best light heavyweight? That's what we want to see. We want to see him in unifications. I want to see him against Elia Alvarez. I want to see him against Adonis Stevenson. You know what I mean? So hopefully, he gets a win tonight. I think he will get the win. I think it'd be pretty. I think Callum Johnson's style suits him. He last fought Frank Buglioni. Now he's fighting Better BF. It's a ridiculous jump in class. It's a massive gulp. But I just hope that this is the start of Better BF getting active again. This new deal with the Zone. He settled that lawsuit with Yvonne Michelle. Let's just hope that he gets active because this guy is. Let's be real. I think everybody will agree. His talent's been wasted the last few years when he should be fighting in this mix because the division's good, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and he's not getting younger. So, fuck, man, come on.
Why is he not a cruiserweight?
Huh?
Archer Better BF. He fought Junior Dorticos and Usyk.
I interviewed him about moving up to cruiserweight. And he said, unless he says he makes 175 with ease, and it's just his natural division with size. He said he'd only move up to cruiserweight if it was for a big money fight, like it had to be worth his while. He won't just move up to cruiserweight and campaign there. He said he's always going to campaign as a light heavyweight. So.
Have you asked Arthur Better BF what he thinks about Sergey Kovalev? Or?
Yeah, I interviewed him a few times about that. He wanted Kovalev to beat Alvarez because he wanted the unification. I remember interviewing Better BF, when was it? Start of the year, and he said that he wanted Kovalev to win the Alvarez fight so they could unify in Russia. Obviously, it didn't happen. But, Better BF beat Kovalev a few times in the amateurs, and he wanted that fight in the professionals, but it's not going to happen now, which is a shame because I think it would have been
Kovalev beat Better BF or?
Huh?
Kovalev beat Better BF?
No, Better BF beat Kovalev quite numerous times in the amateurs.
Yeah.
That's why they got that history there. It would have been a great fight as well. Really would have been a great fight. It wouldn't have gone to the decision. We know that.
Now, Better BF said that he wants to fight. If he wins this fight, he's looking for a Stevenson fight or a Bivol fight. Those are both interesting options.
Could be Bivol because they're both kind of on the zone, aren't they? Now, I mean, maybe Kovalev. I mean, I don't think he will, but Kovalev's rematching Alvarez. If Kovalev somehow pulls the win off there, like I said, I don't think he will. Could do that fight.
I gotta go.
Could do the Alvarez fight. Huh?
I said I'm about to go.
All right.
But I'll hit you guys in the next one.
All right, see ya, man.
Easy,
take
man.
care.
All right, you too.
The Shepherd Sons in the chat says that Better BF was a heavyweight in the amateurs. I don't know about that.
He fought Usyk in the amateurs. He fought Usyk.
Yeah,
he fought
that was at 201, no?
Yeah, it was. He fought the Olympics at heavyweight.
Yeah. It was at 201 pounds.
No, I might be wrong about that.
No. Could it wasn't it the other way around? Wasn't it Usyk that was? No, I think it was the other. I think Cameron, you were right the first time that it was this kid. Better BF was fighting at heavyweight at the time.
Yeah, what's the limit for amateur heavyweight?
Well, he fought Usyk in Europeans and World Championships in the Olympics, in the amateurs. So I think he lost to Usyk. I think he beat him once and lost to him a few times.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
What's the limit for heavyweight in the amateurs?
Is it like 205 pounds or something? No,
201.
201.
Yeah, it's 201 pounds.
Makes sense.
It's like that. Like that's the amateur. That's the amateur rules. Like 178 is like heavyweight. 201 pounds is heavyweight. Anything after that, super heavyweight. Anything above 201 is super heavyweight.
What's middleweight then? 165.
Middleweight 165. 165.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
When I was fighting as an amateur, I used to fight at 165 when I was 16 or 17.
Jesus.
Man, so Andre Ward, because he was going to fight, he wanted to fight at middleweight in the Olympics, right? But obviously Darrell, that's not true, right? So
wait. You talking about? Are you talking about Ward, right?
Yeah, the Olympics.
Before a light heavyweight.
Yeah, but then wasn't he campaigning as a middleweight before the Olympics? But obviously Darrell was a middleweight, right?
After the Olympics, he remember he was doing he did a small stint getting promoted by Roy Jones, and Roy Jones wanted him to fight at middleweight, and I guess Andre Ward knew right away that was a bad idea. He's like, fuck that.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big.
By the way,
he's pretty big.
Thank you, Steven Schneider, for your contribution. He says, "What's up, fight junkies?" Not much, man. Just chillaxing.
We got X on the line.
Oh, we have X.
What's going on, my brothers? Peace to everybody on the panel. And fuck Recognize the Matrix.
Wow, man. You really hate that guy, huh?
I'll smack the shit out of you. Shut up.
Yeah, X. What the fuck, man?
Bring it. Bring it, motherfucker.
I got a lot of love for X, man. A lot of respect for my brother X.
He's getting tired. Tiring. For you too. X and his constant racist remarks. Just
That's
getting
right,
annoying.
I'm a racist, Bucho. I'm a fucking racist. I'm proud of it. All right? I'm for black first, and everybody else that's down with us, and everybody else can go fuck themselves. And
in the chat, Stevie Schneider says, X is coming like DMX.
I'll knock the shit out of you.
X, listen. Give us your prediction for Khabib against McGregor.
I'm going for my brother Khabib. He's my Muslim brother. He's going to beat that white devil.
I see.
That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna beat that white devil. Gonna beat his ass. And yo, Trap, I like you, Trap. You're a good brother, but fuck Big Baby.
Whoa! What's wrong with Big Baby Miller? X, what's going on?
He's a slave. He's down with Eddie Hearn. Anybody down with Eddie Hearn? They're against me.
That's a good point.
Nobody, X. Nobody gives a fuck what you think.
Yeah, X. Come on, man. You're ruining the show.
Bring it, bitch. Come on, Recognize. I know you work for Putin. Tell everybody the truth. You work for Putin.
He works for Roy Jones.
Wait, I thought X was living in Russia, like Roy Jones, so he would evade the IRS or something like that. Like,
yeah, Roy Jones is a Russian boy.
He's a Russian communist. Okay, he works for Putin.
That makes sense now.
He works for Putin. Anybody works for Putin is an enemy of mine. Okay?
X, where are you right now?
I can't tell that. I can't tell that to anybody right now. I'm on the run.
Sounds like you're in
One of these days, X, you won't be on the run, man. You'll have a free life once these people stop trying to put you in court for things you haven't done.
X is on the run for stealing, holding up a candy store.
Bitch ass motherfucker, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Fuck, X. Alright. X, listen. You need to calm down. Probably have high blood pressure, and it's not good for you, man.
X brings excitement to the show.
John Gonzalez says...
You're right about that. Cameron's 100% right. My brother Cam. Okay? That's the only person I like up in there. Cam. You know what I'm saying? Killer Cam. You know You know, fuck boxing cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? Boxing cupcakes, we were always trying to come at Cam sideways. Fuck them.
Yeah. Nah, there's a few people in the chat who try and come at me, man. But they ain't got the balls to come on here and talk to me man to man.
Yeah, they're little bitches. I hate most of the people that comment on this fucking show. Shepherd of the Sun is another one. I hate that motherfucker. He's a Satanist.
What do you believe in, X? Do you have like a religion or?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of Muslim. You know, a little bit of everything.
I see.
I get around everywhere.
I see. Listen, X.
Boyfriends.
Recognize claims that you delve in the homosexual activities of.
I ain't worried about you, little X. Come on.
X isn't a homosexual, man. Where the fuck that come from?
He is a homosexual.
Recognize, I swear to God, I'll find you and I'll shoot you.
Fucking X.
I'm not worried about that. I'll smack the tar off your teeth.
Hello. Hey. All right.
We can hear you, Cameron.
Oh, bollocks. I put myself on mute. Sorry.
Yeah, you see, my brother Ken talking to a cutie. You know what I'm saying? One of the girls I hooked them up with. You know, okay? I got connections in the UK.
X, you sound like you're in the bathroom.
I am in the bathroom right now.
It's 7-Eleven.
That's it. The bathroom is where he lives.
Oh man.
I'll kill you, you motherfucker. You spreading all these rumors.
I'm not worried about you.
What? Rascal's asking, where's that chump scared that's scared of vegans? Who's scared of vegans?
I ain't no vegan.
Hey, are you a vegan? Yeah, you are, man. You must be.
I eat a lot of red meat. I mean, I'm not supposed to. I got acid reflux and all that shit, you know. White man disease.
Wait, where did you grow up, X?
I grew up in Jamaica, South Side.
Where's your accent?
Where am I at now? I can't tell you that.
No, your accent. Your Jamaican accent is gone.
Nah, just because I'm from Jamaica, Queens, don't mean I have to be Jamaican.
Oh, Jamaica, Queens.
I'm talking about Queens, New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like Jamaican. All right.
Nah, you know, I'm out there. You know, recognized from that bitch ass part of Queens.
So you married?
Yeah, the bitch ass side. Sure.
Yeah.
Am I married? Nah, I ain't married to no one. These bitches be trying to take all my money. You know, claiming that I got 7 kids.
Do you actually have 7 kids? Do you actually have 7 kids?
I only got 3.
3. Okay. You know, I can see X showing up on the Jerry Springer show or what's the other one? Maury.
They try to get me on there.
Did you get you that?
Yeah, I was actually on there. I'm not gonna tell you what episode because
oh man,
I don't want people who on this YouTube shit to make fun of me. But anyway, these girls be lying. They lie. Trying to say that this little motherfucker's my kid. Don't look nothing like me.
John Gonzalez says that X lives in a soup kitchen.
You know, I'm tired of Gonzalez. Okay? Gonzalez always on the road, kidnapping people. He's a Satanist. Him and Recognize. They work together. Anyway, look, man. Khabib is beating McGregor. Fat Baby ain't doing shit. Okay? He ain't messing with my brother Wilder. He might beat AJ, but he ain't beating my brother Wilder. Okay? That ain't never gonna happen. He can't beat Luis Ortiz. Okay? Only Wilder could do that.
So your boy in the heavyweight division is Wilder.
That's right. Come at Wilder, you coming at me. He's the greatest boxer ever. Ever. TBE. Deontay Wilder. 40-0. 39 knockouts. Tell me the last time you saw a record like that. And
Yeah,
everybody
never.
he knocked out were all boogeymen. Nobody wanted to fight those guys. Except my brother Wilder.
Rascal222 in the chat says that X used to wear a mullet back in 1998.
That's because Rosclad be listening to Recognize the Matrix. That's what it is. You know, Recognize be spreading a lot of fucking rumors. And I'm gonna sue his ass for defamation. Defamation of character.
Go ahead and try, man. I don't got that much money, but you could try.
Yeah. Listen, X.
You know, I'm gonna get out of here, man. My acid reflux is flaring up again.
That's why you're in the bathroom. That's why you're in the fucking bathroom.
Man. I've been in the bathroom all day. I had me a cheeseburger. I mean, I used to eat cheeseburgers with no problem. Now every time I eat a cheeseburger, I'm in fire. You know what I'm saying? My chest hurts. My stomach starts bloating out. And I'm pissed off, man. Anyway.
All right, X. Go take a shit. Go take a shit. What the hell, X? Jesus. All right.
Man, I meant to mute. I meant to mute the button. Damn, sorry.
God, man. That's okay,
I gotta get
man.
out of here. Fuck.
All right, see you next time, X, man. God. All right.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, man. What's wrong with X, man? He's always pissed off. He's always angry.
He's a bitter, he's just a bitter little man. That's all it is.
Anyways, moving on to boxing or whatever. Actually, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got the Conor fight. That's the big thing that's happening today.
Yeah, I'm not a huge UFC fan, but I will watch this fight. There's a lot of hype. So there's a lot of talk about it. That's pretty much it. I mean, Beterbiev. If I miss that fight, I don't care. Well, I'm missing a knockout. I can watch it tomorrow. So, what else can we talk about? In the chat, give us some topics, or we end this show. That's how it works. Hey, Recognize, did you see the LTBC videos that are coming out? Talking about, they're still talking about Charlo and Canelo and Golovkin. And man, they're really saying yeah, well, they're saying Canelo is scared of Charlo. It's like, we knew he wasn't gonna fight Golovkin or Charlo in December, so what the fuck, man?
That Canelo is afraid of Charlo? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't really watch them anymore, honestly. But come on. I mean, it's just... Is he afraid of him? He just fought Triple G twice. Why would he be afraid of Charlo?
Because Golovkin is an old man.
Yeah, but you know, I want to see some of these young guys do the same thing with Triple G that Canelo did. I would really like to see it.
Who can do it, man?
I mean, listen, like I said, I thought he lost both fights, but close fights. First fight was a little bit, it was competitive. I had a little bit of a wider scorecard for Golovkin. This fight could have went either way. I have no problem with somebody saying Canelo won. Me personally, I thought he lost the fight. But yeah, I haven't seen anyone come close to doing. Danny Jacobs is the only one that came close, and he, at least in my opinion, he clearly got beat. So,
yeah, and Danny Jacobs.
Canelo's not scared of Charlo, please. It's just business. That's all it is.
Okay, I have a question. How do you see Golovkin, Charlo, if they ever fought? How would Charlo approach this fight?
To win the fight, man, I mean, I think he's, okay, if he can't hurt him with how he sets up punches, which is basically, you know, he throws the jab, like not with any real intent, just so he can get the overhand right in. If he can't hurt him with that, he has really no chance. If he can use it, if he can develop a jab consistently and give Golovkin problems, then I could see him beating him. I could see him backing Golovkin up. But if he's gonna fight the way he usually fights, which is just basically to distract you. He throws the jab so he could come up with an overhand right. No, that's not going to get. I don't believe that's going to get the job done against Golovkin. He's got to use that jab.
So you see him moving around, keeping a certain distance.
Right, to develop distance, you know, and he's got long enough reach to, you know, to let that overhand right go and set him up from there. Maybe that sets up other stuff. Maybe it sets up when Golovkin tries to, close the distance. He gets the timing of that and starts hitting Golovkin with some uppercuts. There's ways he can win, but I want to see what happens when he gets hit. That's what I want to see.
Rascal222 in the chat says Charlo will fight like Jacobs, but will run more. Steven Schneider says Charlo would be trying to box Triple G. Bo Johnson says Charlo has never faced a puncher in his career.
Yeah, I kind of agree with
J-Rock?
that.
Nah.
Especially Ross, what Ross Class said that I can see that. That's the more likely scenario. But then again, Golovkin is older, so we don't know. We don't know what he got left. He was in a pretty brutal fight against Canelo. I'm not saying that was a career-ending fight, but it was enough that maybe Golovkin needs to take some time off. I'm not saying a year off, but a couple of months. Maybe fight in 2019, somewhere around June or May.
Yeah,
that's what I think he should do.
No, but
I like to see the fight happen, man.
Cowering.
I think it's more intriguing now. I think the fight between him and Charlo is a more intriguing fight. If that's didn't the WBC actually mandated that they fight next?
Yep.
All right.
That's why everyone's talking about this fight, because the WBC has mandated that fight. So I'd rather see that fight than Canelo Triple G again. Fed up with that shit.
Yeah.
And if it's a close decision, Golovkin is not gonna get it. So
yeah, no.
By the way, in the chat,
Golovkin has to whip his ass. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think that's gonna happen, especially after the second fight. I realized, you know what, Canelo is not gonna go down. If there was a moment where Canelo was supposed to go down, was that 10th round in the second fight.
Yeah,
and he didn't.
I agree.
Stack those bananas in the chat says.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Let's just some comments. Stack those bananas. He's asking where's Stu. Stu was, I don't know, he sent me a message 5 hours ago. I forgot, well, I didn't reply, I didn't see the message. And now, I don't know. I sent him a link, but he's probably watching the UFC or something. Raskla222 says, Heard is gonna beat up Charlo at 154. Maybe.
That's a good fight, man.
He gotta stay out the mid-range.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
he's in the mid-range, he's in trouble.
Recognize. Going back to what you said about how Charlo should approach Golovkin if they ever fight, you said he should keep sort of his distance and use his jab.
Yeah.
There's somebody that I won't mention his name, but you probably know him. He's the guy who's shirtless doing podcasts. His prediction was that Charlo was gonna pin down Golovkin on the ropes and just bust him up and not get him out of there.
Assuming that Golovkin lost total strength and he just can't muscle up or break a guy that big, muscling him up like against the ropes and doing that. I really doubt that shit. I really doubt it. I want to see him take Golovkin's punches or just any power punches. If he takes it good, he wins the fight.
Yeah.
If he don't, obviously, it comes down to whether he can take the punches or not. He's gonna get hit. His defense is not good. He's gonna get hit.
If it goes to points, I got Golovkin. I think the knockout, I'm leaning towards Charlo if it's knockout. But if it goes to points, I got Golovkin. But I do think he needs to use his legs in that fight. You know, move around, catch the good shots, come in. You know what you want to throw, that 1-2 hook, 1-2 uppercut. You know, that's the money shot for the Charlos.
Yep, I agree with that. That's why I said if he can use if he can use the distance, if he ever really developed a really good jab, he can totally dominate a guy like Golovkin. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying that's the way to dominate him. You back him up, you back his ass up, you hit him with a jab. He's big enough, and you come with some overhand rights.
And I'm seeing
somehow he breaks that. You know, he breaks that jab coming in, like dipping in. You set him up with an uppercut. He's got the length to do that. But I want to see him get hit. That's what I want to see.
Can Charlo get exactly? Can Charlo take a punch from Golovkin?
Triple G is not taking. He's not gonna take this fight.
Can Charlo take a punch from Golovkin?
He might be able to now.
Based.
I don't know. I can't say. I would say. Excuse me for a second. Hold on. That noise in the background.
New York.
Yeah. Fucking always like some sirens. Anyway, so I would say Golovkin. I would be more confident Golovkin of 2 years ago to say. I would even go as far as say he wrecks Charlo. He don't just beat him; he wrecks his ass up. But right now, nah, I'm not confident. I'm not confident he would beat Charlo at this point.
But have you seen some decline? Something?
Oh yeah. I was one of those guys that were like, you know what? Let me give him a few fights before I start saying he's on the decline. Well, it's been 3. There's definitely some decline in his repertoire, right? He's a little bit now less technical of a fighter. That's what made him great, was he was more technical about his approach to knock you out, where now it's like, I don't have time for that. That's a sign of a guy who's, you know, he doesn't have the patience anymore. He's not in those prime years anymore. You know, he's like, I don't really think I can go 12 rounds fighting like this. So therefore, I'm gonna go for the knockout, which is gonna give a guy like Charlo a better chance of winning the fight. If I had
Can Charlo fight on the back foot?
Not against Golovkin. I don't think it's a good move.
Okay, so you think he needs to stay his ground?
Yeah.
Sort of like Canelo did?
Do a little bit movement, lateral movement, back, you know, using the jab. You can't give up too much ground.
By the way, hold on. Stack those bananas. Thank you for your contribution. He says, recap thoughts on Usyk's potential at heavyweight. Yeah, we can talk about that later. I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write it down so we don't change topic. Okay, we'll talk about Usyk at heavyweight later. Let's just finish up with Charlo. So, Rogan, as you were saying again, Charlo has to stay his ground, sort of like Canelo.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the difference between Canelo first fight and second fight, right? Like that's Canelo. Listen, Canelo is well schooled in terms of the advice he gets. De La Hoya said this a long time ago. De La Hoya said the guy that beats Golovkin is the guy who stands his ground and is able to push him back. Why did De La Hoya say that? De La Hoya said that because he's a boxer and he's been doing it for a long time. But he did add in that sentence, he said, "Good luck on that," meaning that's almost impossible to do right now. Canelo, who's getting better, and he's a student of the game, and he's in his prime. They were telling him, like, yo, listen, you're gonna have to push him back. You have to stand your ground, because in the first fight, when you stood your ground, you had a lot of success. You know, you did have success when you did that. You're gonna have to do it consistently for 12 rounds, and I think he did for the most part. Did he get hurt? I mean, he got buzzed and he took it well, and he was able to continue the fight the way he with his same approach, and that's what won him the fight, right? So yeah, I think that especially for a tall guy like Charlo, in terms of approach, Charlo and Danny Jacobs' style is more or less the same, and you saw what happened there. You know, at least for me, I saw what happened there. I thought that yes, Jacobs he had some success, but he clearly lost that fight.
I had Jacobs clearly winning that fight.
Nah, he had no shot of winning that fight. He got busted.
You with the knockdown?
I didn't see Triple G winning that fight at all, but I think his approach would be good.
I can't believe people even debate this shit, yo. That was a one.
Let's debate.
Fight, the survival fight. Man, he was in survival mode, yo.
Yeah, I know. He was on the back foot the whole time.
Hell
like
no.
He's supposed to be the puncher.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think his strategy is much different than I don't think Charlo has the boxing ability of a Daniel Jacobs. I think he's gonna have to lean more towards the pot. He has to get Triple G's respect early. That's something I think he's gonna have to establish that early. And that shuffle Floyd kind of does, where he step back and then come with the jet. I think he had to do that step back crossover with the leg, the 1-2, boom, 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 then move again. You know, he had to work that. He need to watch some Floyd film before getting in there with Triple G. But I think at this point I would lean a little bit towards Charlo, but it's a toss up. It's not like I'm hating. Triple G winning on points. I don't have Charlo winning on points at all.
If it's a close fight, politics tell me that if it goes 12 rounds, it goes to Charlo.
Hey, who hits harder?
Why you say?
There's more potential in terms of years of boxing. There's more. There's no reason to rob the young guy or give the young guy the short end of the stick.
Not for a trilogy. I don't know.
Hey, question,
guys. Hold on one second.
Who hits harder?
Oh wait, we have. I think it's more leaning towards Triple G.
No, you can leave it there. You guys can leave it there. All right. Yeah. Yes, please. Oh no, the other one is there.
He never mutes his mic.
You need the other one too? Yeah. All right, let me show you what's at. Yeah. No, I got you, boss. Come over here. Let me show you something.
Yo, recognize mute. My God, this guy, he's at work and we can hear everything. Oops. Anyways, in the meantime, let me introduce. What is it?
I had a bad trip at a wedding in Maine, and it was a stormy night, right? I'm on LSD. Oh, I was fucking freaking out. It was horrible. I'll never take it again.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's going on, guys?
Nothing. We're listening to Recognize at work.
Oh shit! I didn't mute my button, man. God,
no,
damn,
man.
Sorry about that.
All right.
God, I apologize, man. I thought I muted my button.
That's fine, man. Don't worry. Guerrero, are you there? If this guy drops off, comes back on. Are you there?
Guerrero, I don't know.
He drops off and then he comes back.
You there? Mexico.
No, he's not there. Anyways, let's go back to Jimmy. Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Are you watching the UFC fight? Are you watching boxing? What are you doing tonight?
Shit, I'm really curious on that UFC fight, only because that I like McGregor, and I'm curious to see how he's going to do against this kid. Now, this kid, he's a Muslim, right?
Yes.
I was just noticing a picture that the kid he's fighting, he's a Muslim, right?
Chechen,
Muslim,
Russian.
Yeah. He's from Chechnya. Most of those. The religion over there, the predominant religion is Muslim.
Yeah, I just only noticed because literally only a minute ago I was just seeing him, and when he comes in the ring and I saw him, like, wait a minute, he's praying in like the Sunni with his palms up. You know, when he was praying, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So I just didn't know if that was just.
That's why Connor kept calling him a terrorist.
Oh Jesus! He can fuck. He runs his mouth, huh? That dude.
Yeah.
He does get under people's skin. He's good at it. I'll tell you. There is a psychology. Some people can handle that. Some people can just. And the thing is, it's the people who talk that shit, but then back it up and go out there and could put hands on you. That's when it gets to you, but gets to a lot of people. But then there's the guys who run their mouth who just don't put people away.
I have a question for you guys that know more about the UFC than I do, and you follow probably this story closely. McGregor, what happened with the whole incident where he destroyed the boss? What was the penalty? He got arrested.
Didn't he get a suspended? Paid a big fine, I guess. I don't know. See, I thought I already paid a big fine, but I don't know. Other people said that was staged, but I couldn't have been because there was real lawsuits taken out against him, like that kid who didn't fight that night because he got a cut in his face and stuff. So
yeah, Dana said there was no way they would stage something like that.
Yeah.
Connor could have got potentially prison time. Ended up getting off light, with the fines, and I think he had a I want to say they just gave him a misdemeanor or something like that.
Misdemeanor, holy Christ!
It's not like he's trying to get on the police department or anything, Like a millionaire from Ireland, or what's a misdemeanor got to do?
Yeah. He seemed to be at peace though. Coming into this fight, he seemed to be a lot more calm, a lot more grown up, a lot more laid back. I mean, he turned on the antics a little bit as we got closer towards it, but leading up to it, he seemed to be a bit more mature. I think that situation helped mature him a little bit more, especially with the growth of his son too. I think that's played a part into his character development.
Hey gentlemen, I'm gonna drop out. I got something I gotta do, but I just want to say peace to everybody on the chat.
Right,
peace to Trap.
Peace.
To Mucho, Jimmy.
Peace, brother.
Peace. Guerrero.
I'd see ya, man.
Where you at, Guerrero? Oh, and fuck
he's not there, man.
Peace.
Right.
But I'll end up. I say that, but I'll end up watching Better BF live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's a knockout. That's a guaranteed knockout. So.
Right. I'm just curious to see if he breaks out of that Russian mold that I'm starting to think I have yet to see other than Lomachenko. Well, they're Ukrainian. That's different. But, Lomachenko and Usyk, they both fight totally different.
Yeah. You look at Gassiev.
He got a $60,000 fine and 50 hours of community service.
50 hours. I wonder how he's going to do that.
Yeah. It's so funny
that seems very light. Very light.
It's very light, of course. And it was like a whole gang. It wasn't only him. He had his friends as well, throwing shit on the boss, breaking windows, injuring
there was
people.
Two of them charged.
Yeah.
Him and his buddy.
Change the color.
It's so funny that Dana White, when he was asked immediately after the incident, he was interviewed and he was acting all disappointed and going like, I can't believe this happened. This is so disgusting. And then I'm watching the UFC previews and they keep bringing that event up. They keep bringing it up. So like, they're using this they use that incident, that disgusting incident, as Dana White called it, as a promotional tool. I don't know. It's kind of sad.
Of course he did. Listen, Dana White picks those gloves, the design of those gloves, and I was told this from back in the 90s, and they've never changed the stitching or whatever, and it is true. You seem to cut people real easy, but that was always a thing with them. They wanted the blood. Blood sells. Listen, he's a fucking shark. I'll tell you right now, man, that dude don't care about nobody. He'd sell his own mother for $1. It's worked out for him, but sometime you're going to have to face, reality. He's going to have to face somebody for that shit. He's done horrible shit to his own family. That's, to me, is inexcusable.
Do you think Dana White would be good for boxing? Because a lot of people give him credit for what he did with the UFC. And
yeah, I think he would be great.
What about you, Jimmy?
No, because he had a captive audience. He had no competition. You know what I mean? It's pretty easy. Listen, if you have a product and the people want it and people are willing to pay for it, it's pretty hard not to fuck up. You know what I mean? It's pretty hard to fuck that up. There was no competition, always small little events. You know what I mean? He was able to buy that thing right after. It was only, I think, a couple of states still allowing UFC when they bought it, so they got it for a song and dance, 500,000 or something. They just sold it, and he ended up walking away like 30 million. Plus, he was kept on as an advisor type president, whatever. But yeah, no, I because he's never given an inch to any fighter. Like, listen, he just fucking done. You're done. They all bow down and kiss the ring, and if you don't, they don't care how good you are. You can be. Look what he did to George St. Pierre. He's turned his back on his best fighters when push comes to shove. Because where are they gonna go? When you're the only game in town, you can only bluff and run your mouth so long, and it'll retire. That's it. What are you gonna go to
GSP
Bellator?
wanted to start
make a third of the money.
Bellator or Glory.
Yeah, but
Right? Glory isn't even around anymore. I don't think. Is it? Oh yeah, it is over in Japan. Yeah.
But no, I'm just saying, if boxing was under one head, how they feed it to the public, you know, how you can always turn the channel and see UFC the replay. It just looks like a movie. I think their production and their presentation is much better than how boxing does it, and you're just more familiar with it. Like a kid could just be changing channels and you can just come across the UFC. It's always on TV. It's always the great top 10 knockouts, top 10 shows of the year. It just presented properly. So I think if boxing was under one head, wasn't all these promotion companies and Dana White was at the top, boxing would be in a much better position.
Well, I'll tell you this, to his credit, man, I will credit him this. The UFC, he doesn't fucking match his guys soft. There's no cherry pick in there. You know what I mean? He says who's fighting who, and there's always, like, you don't see cherry picks. You don't see, like, what Canelo was fielding. Are you fucking serious? But I mean, that's why I said that a few weeks ago. I said when everybody was, you know, I think whatever that kid's name was, he was saying that, it's going to be to the WBC, whether it's going to be Charlo or rematch. I'm like, no, it's not. It's going to be whoever the fuck he wants, and it's going to be nobody tough. Why would he's going to go and just take an easy one? And I mean, that guy Fielding is pretty easy.
Because Stephen A was saying the same thing, like, aren't you worried about your best guy coming back against the number one guy in the UFC? Like, no, we want the best fights. You know, this is the UFC. You're not judged by a loss. If he loses, you know, that's all right. He'll come back. But we want the best fight and the best. And that's what separates the UFC from everything else. You know, that was pretty
and again, he can do that. He can force those guys to do it because, again, the only game in town. And therein lies the problem. There's always been a huge worker ownership strife in that company. I mean, dating back from the first year. You look at every star they've had, go by the era. Remember when it was like Tito Ortiz was the man? Look at Andy, just punch his name in. Put Tito Ortiz, Dana White. Put in GSP, Dana White. And it's always, they always leave saying bad shit about him because they don't think they're paying him enough. But like he says, without me, you don't have anything. So it's been so he will put it's almost like the mafia when they were running the show. They did put the best against the best because, you know, he doesn't care where they're going to go. So
here's a question. So is Dana White successful because he's such a genius or because he's in control of a monopoly?
You could say
probably a little both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I agree.
He's a hustler. He's a hustler. He was a hustler back in the day, you know what I mean? He worked at Gold's Gym. He was selling juice out of the fucking place. He was always hustling, selling a little weed, you know what I mean? And he just, he went to a good prep school and he knew the two brothers, the Zayfa brothers, probably butchering the name, but he knew them from prep school. And they were out in Vegas, and that's why he was out in Vegas. I know he likes to tell the story. I don't know if you guys ever seen him. He's told the story of Whitey Bulger chasing him out of town. Supposedly Kevin Weeks came out to him. He was putting on a fucking professional boxing match, but on a smaller level. He called it a charity event, like a boys club, whatever. And he, you know, he tells the story on his UFC network to, of course, make it look like he's a gangster. That Kevin Weeks came in and said, "Pay up or leave," and he was like, "Fucking, I left. I wasn't, you know, going to deal with that bullshit." I talked to Kevin Weeks personally. Weeks, he was like, "Dude, I have no idea what that clown's talking about. We were making 500 G's a week just selling fucking the same kilo," because that's what they would do. They would sell a kilo of coke in the front door and have someone come in and rob it out the back door. He's like, back then, he's like, "No fucking way would I. What was I going to do? Shake him down for his $200? Catch a federal beef for $200? So it's just ridiculous." Because he said he left Boston because he sold a bunch of phony steroids and he got a bunch of dudes who would have fucking tore his head off and shit down his neck if they ever got their hands on him. And he took off. That's why. Make no mistake.
Now we're gonna say that's allegedly, right?
What's that? Oh yeah, well allegedly they do that. Yeah, I can't speak of violence, but I'm saying back then, that was in the 90s. Kid's name was Ross Shea. This dude was he looked like Breck Ross, whatever that dude's name is. Looked just like him. This fucking dude, same build, no neck, like fucking monster. And yeah, he had him fucking looking for Dana because he ended up ruining his He got signed by the WWE, but he ended up with such a cyst in his calf and his thigh where he was shooting the shit because they don't make it in a clean room. They just make it in somebody's fucking kitchen. And anyways, he ended up with cysts, and they had to dig out bad ones. It turned into hematomas, and they had to carve away some of his muscle. So yeah, needless to say, he was pissed. But so yeah, he tells the story that he was chased out by Whitey Bulger. My girlfriend at the time's father, like I said, remember I told you the whole strip club, that his name was Blackie McKay. You can check all the shit in the papers. That was like Whitey and him fucking didn't like each other because my girlfriend's father worked with the guys who were originally the Hell's Kitchen out of New York and then went up to Providence. But but that's what I'm telling you. I'm not making any of this shit up. And it was well known in that circles, but Dana's a punk. But he made himself fucking a ton of money, man. I gotta give him credit. I'm not shitting on him. Trust me, dude, because look all right, he's another dude I know. I met him a couple of times. I know a lot of people know him, Joe Rogan. Nobody says nothing bad about Joe Rogan. Everybody who's ever met him says nothing but good things. Stand-up dude. Total class act. He's not he doesn't take no shit. Like, you run your mouth to him, he'll let you put his hands on him first. He's a great jiu-jitsu guy, but he's a really stand-up dude. He's the type of dude who'll go into a bar room if you're sitting there and he'll talk to you, you know what I mean? Not like expect you to, I don't know, but so it goes to show you, I'm not just one of those celebrity haters that hate somebody who succeeds. I'm happy to see kids come from where I came from to make it out, but I don't like how he made it out. And I don't like, you know what I mean? And then you hear stories what he did to his grandmother. So it just goes to show you he's innately a horrible human being. You don't do that to your grandmother, you know what I mean? So, and do that to what he did to people.
What's the deal with Dana White?
He was selling that. What's up?
Dana White and those ring card girls. What's the deal with that?
Fucking banging all the ring card girls, yeah. And he's married with kids.
Jesus.
Doesn't even hide it. That fucks your kids up, you know what I mean? I don't care how much money you have, you still got to fuck your kids up. Your dad's banging all these fucking dingbats.
Hey, did you know George St. Pierre wanted to start a union for the fighters?
Yep.
That's the whole issue he has started having, I think, with Dana White, though.
Yeah, because he was paying. It doesn't take him. All they have to do is do the math. You say, okay, you guys are charging $40 a ticket. Place is sold out. You know what I mean? You got 40,000 people, 30,000 people sitting in here. Just do the math, and you got TV rights.
The Reebok.
And all of a sudden, you start to sit back like, wait a minute, okay, this motherfucking event took in $11 million in total purses tonight for everybody is under $2 million. Somebody's getting paid, and it isn't us. So, but that was never rectified. He was always smart. He just would pay the guys whose name. Like, you would just give him a contract, and never big contracts, 3, 4, 5 fight contracts. He was never stupid to give people these long, exorbitant contracts.
Yeah,
so I guess he did a lot of stuff smart.
Yeah, McGregor just signed a 6-fight deal. That's a lot of fights.
McGregor's the biggest name globally they've ever had.
I think he's the only big name they have so far, though. Because John Jones was in trouble.
Well, they had Ronda Rousey. She was actually the biggest. She was the biggest fucking fight person in the world there for 2 years. You know what I mean? 2014, 15.
Yeah.
But remember when she was fucking. Then she fell in love with her own press, and she thought she was a boxer.
Yeah.
Oh my God! She looked like she was having epileptic fits. Those training videos. They were cringeworthy. Oh.
What was that about? I mean, get her a boxing trainer, please, and. She couldn't even hit the pads. It's shadow box. It's cringeworthy.
It was cringeworthy. I was embarrassed for her. But Edmund, you know what I mean? She had people. She was making so much money. Everybody around her was getting a slice of that. So you know what they're thinking? They're not going to rock the boat. You don't want to piss off a temperamental bitch who's holding the purse strings. It is what it is. Come on, it is what it is. You know that, guys. Fucking bitch gets married. But you just talking about me to him. Like, so, you ain't get a job. You know what I mean? She's fucking running the show. She's getting the contracts. Nobody's telling her, hey, you can't box. What are you doing? You know who was telling her that? Her mother. Her mother was saying, what are you doing, Rhonda? You're not a boxer. You're going to get your head stoved in. Her own mother was telling her that. What?
I said, be careful. You trying to have
Those Me Too militants can suck my balls.
They're gonna show up. YouTube's gonna fuck us up now.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I keep forgetting.
No, don't worry. I'm joking.
Okay. So I'm all right. Yeah, because dude, at my age, I don't give a fuck about all that bullshit. If I was still out chasing trim, I don't know, but I still wouldn't be a pussy whip fucking clown. You know what I mean? These people, it's like, because I don't give a shit. Listen, you might attract a certain type of woman. Those fucking, you know what I mean? Like, they're not, come on. You gonna tell me any of those fucking chicks, you'd have to be spitting on that thing all night. That thing ain't getting wet. Come on. You know what I mean? Give me a fucking, fuck that. You know what I mean? Those type of women hate men. It's usually daddy issues. And, you know, you can listen, even Jordan Peterson will tell you that. You know, you listen to him and they'll say that. Psychologists will tell you, majority of the time, they're trying to get their dad's affection still. It's basic human instinct. And I've seen it. I've been around long enough, building enough women. I've seen it. I've seen no girl's relationship with their father. When you meet the father and you get to know them good enough, the relationship, you say, oh, that explains a lot right there. No,
in the chat, people are saying that Jimmy is a sexist.
What's that?
In the chat, people are saying that Jimmy is a sexist.
I'm a sexist?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fucking right I am. I don't give a fuck.
But Ronda Rousey, going back to Ronda Rousey, she was obviously surrounded by yes men, and I think she started believing the lies that she was being told. You know, they were telling her that she could beat a man. I mean,
she was going to beat Floyd. And remember, she actually said, if you even think about, she wasn't coined it, but it's, if you even think about fighting, you know, beating me, you better, you know, or dream of beating me, you better wake up and call me and apologize. You know what I mean? She'd say things like that. She'd say, I want to hurt her for just thinking she could fucking beat me. She got she was reading her own press, and she's been like, even the people, of course, once her star, you know, fell, then the people around her started leaking shit like she was too busy doing G commercials for the fucking, you know what I mean? She'd come out to fight. She's carrying a Monster drink. She had the headphones around her neck. She was like a walking billboard. It was just, becomes a clown show, you know what I mean? And almost everything in life, you guys will see, the faster you rise, right, the faster you fall. It's almost always, usually the people who steady climb, people just pop up out of nowhere and take over the culture. They usually fucking fizzle out just as quick. Very seldom do you see that any lasting power. I've seen that. When you live long enough, you see trends. Those people never last.
Patterns,
literally from 2013, nobody knew who she was till she was on the cover of Ring magazine like 18 months later. Oh, yeah.
And now she's with the WWE. I mean, talk about a circus. Her career being sort of a circus. Now she's in a real circus.
Yeah, she's with the WWE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a champion right now over in WWE. Shout out to Vince McMahon.
Well, I mean, smart for her. She I mean, honestly, what was she going to do? She was just going to take worse beatings. Look, they figured her out. And the thing is, she took that Nunes girl. That's a bad bitch right there.
Holy Christ.
She put a beating on her.
That was worse than Holy Home.
Oh, much worse. It was a beatdown.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Those fucking chicks are juicing out of their heads too. Cyborg, Nunes. Fucking, my God, fucking Cyborg, she doesn't even have to sit down when she pees. Seriously, man. You take testosterone long enough, their clit grows. I've seen it. It's fucking nasty. It does. It literally grows. They become hypersensitive, though. They do become hypersensitive, you know. But a lot of them cheat. They're raging. So what you need is a girl fucking raging on steroids. But listen, you don't get like Cyborg. That's not natural. Women's shoulders in their traps don't get like that without fucking, and I'm not talking clenbuterol. That bitch is packing test. And then her voice, from, you know, it affects your voice. From women when they sound like gay truck drivers. How you doing? But
are you a supporter of the Jenners of the world?
Hey, what do you guys think about the partnership between Pacquiao and Al Heyman?
Oh, excuse me?
Oh, I didn't hear anything about that. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Where did you hear that? Hey Jimmy, there's like a crackling sound coming from.
Is that
the other
coming from
side.
me?
Yeah. Now it's
Really?
gone.
You still hear it?
Nope.
Because I was hearing it too. Huh.
Now it's gone. Guerrero, what'd you say about well, he's gone. Anyways, well,
Yeah, I was saying about. I'm sorry, man. I was saying about Pacquiao and Al Heyman partnership. What do you guys think about that?
well, I don't know any of the details because this is the first time I hear this. But I don't know how much does Pacquiao have left, and this has to do with Mayweather Pacquiao though. If this is true.
Yeah, supposedly it's for it's a 2-fight deal.
Oh, 2-fight. Well, why not? I mean, I don't care. I'm not buying that shit again. You think I'm gonna buy that trash? Get out of here.
Hey, Trap, you about to ask me something? What do I think about?
Yeah, no, I was saying, what did you think about them allowing, I guess, trans women to run track with the women, or they're letting them compete on the other side, and they're beating all the women now. So even in wrestling and track, they're breaking all the records on the other side, whereas when they were males, they weren't doing so. Do you think that's fair, moving towards combat sports and just all the physical?
No, not at all. I think it's actually disgusting, and including I believe in Canada, not to pick on boys up north, but they just allowed a kid who identifies as a girl. So he hasn't gone through sex change. I don't even know if he's done the hormones. I think he puts his hair in a ponytail, little jacked up dude, and he's beating the shit out of girls.
That's
How
in the
allowing
US.
that to happen?
That's in the US, no? The wrestler?
Yeah, is that the US?
Yeah, one of them
I
is the
think
wrestler,
so.
and the other two are in track. I want to say in New Jersey, and they're breaking all of the records. and the girls are complaining because they're getting scholarships that they would normally get. So the third place girl would actually be the first place if it was under traditional, I guess, settings or rules. But now they're getting these scholarships and they're breaking all these records. When if they was running in the side that they were born, they wasn't even top 10, competition. They wasn't top 10, top 20, nothing like that.
It's disgusting. It's just fucking twisted. What's happened? It's all come down to it's the it's the social justice warriors. Have you seen them during this whole bullshit with Kavanaugh, fucking attacking senators in front of their houses and shit? Come on, you fucking idiots.
George Soros.
Chug. They don't have a platform, so they just have to act hysteria. We have no proof. There's just more hysteria and yelling. It's an embarrassment to the country. But yeah, no, I don't buy into any of that bullshit. Like, imagine being a feminist, 70 years, you get the fucking temperance movement, you get them to vote all this bullshit, right? And then fucking what's his name comes along, becomes a woman. He's a woman for 6 months, a man, and he's the woman of the year.
Yeah, see now
that was awesome.
To me, it's kind of comical now because a lot of them are getting upset, but this is what you push for. You push for this effeminized society. So now when they go over and win these awards and stuff like that, it's kind of like, you still getting the same thing dominating again because of something that you push for. So it's kind of like if you want to push it to this limit, now it's backfiring in your face.
And a lot of the feminists though they didn't like that. A lot of them were really pissed. So the LBTG and the trans community, I guess, with the feminists, they're bumping heads because the trans communities are trying to identify with them, and they're saying no. Listen, and they looked at it like I put it too. They're like, wait a minute, we're real women. So this dude fucking tapes his cock to his thigh, and all of a sudden he's the woman of the year. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's one of
a
them.
Hero.
Did you see one of them is like a professional fighter, like I want to say in the UFC or something, or not?
Oh yeah, Joe Rogan hates that dude. Joe Rogan rips that dude apart on his podcast.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that is crazy. Like picture Mike Tyson saying that he feels the other way, and now he's fighting Clarissa Shields or something like that.
There's something wrong with that. The mother's just in a rising right. If you're raised right, you don't fucking listen. And if your friends, would your friends let you pound on a woman in public like that? I just can't even wrap my head around that. That kid would be in my day, would be so ostracized. You know what I mean? But then again, we didn't have like male cheerleaders. That shit didn't exist back when I was a kid either.
It's a new time, man. It's a new
No, it
time.
is. It is. And listen, I think a lot of the things are right. I was marching back for gay rights back in the 80s, back before there was social media was cool. You know what I mean? And I met somebody, and he was a good dude, and we met when we were kids, and, you know, I didn't know, and he was gay, a tough fucking dude, too. And I'm telling you, this kid was, I'll tell you, he was always was. He moved down to Florida, but when he came back up, he had AIDS, and this was back when it first happened, and like they called it the gay cancer. So nobody even really. The president waited till like 85 to say AIDS. He wouldn't say it publicly. Back then, they were still calling it the gay cancer, and they were just storing them in hospital rooms, bro. Like just because nobody would go in there, nurses would gear all up like the hazmat suits to go in. No
Jesus.
family were visiting these guys, and this kid that I knew since I was a little kid was in there dying alone. I went in there and I was up. I wasn't there the day he died. Finally went to talk to his mother and his sister. Said, "Listen, it doesn't spread like that," because they were all worried that, just by touch, because it was so. So I saw what they were going through, and I never and I realized, like, wow, these motherfuckers are dying. Nobody's even caring. These are brothers, sisters. So I know I talk like a lot of shit, but I'm not some hardcore fucking bigoted retard who doesn't have compassion. I do. You know what I mean? I hate oppressed anybody. I hate to see anybody oppressed of anybody. And you know what I mean? And Trap, you can tell this right now. You see it right now. And it's white people. It's not even black people, or fucking, there is some black people doing it, but white people holding signs, down with white men, down. Like, there's people saying shit about white people right now you could never say about black people. You know that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? On fucking TV every night, you want to get eviscerated? It's nuts every night. Oh, these white men ruining the country. I'm like, holy shit, they're going to be outside my house with fucking pitchforks.
We know what's
this
going
is
on.
nuts.
It's propaganda.
Right?
Man. Yeah, we know what's going on. It's the propaganda machine. If you have the glasses on, you don't see what's going on, and you're emotionally making decisions and easily persuaded by emotion, you're gonna be caught up in what's going on. But we understand who pulling the strings, and it just
It's good. I hope that makes my heart feel good, dude. You're a young guy, and I say that to myself. I said, I hope the young dudes out there aren't falling for this. So that really, seriously, you have no idea how happy I am to hear you talk like that.
Yeah. Most don't, but most have no idea, because we have been programmed to look at all of you as the same. It just, if you like me, you're gonna do more research into everything, so you understand it breaks down into the nationality and everything like that. And there's certain groups who view themselves exclusively, but everybody doesn't know that. So you can manipulate a situation to be like, oh, that's all white people, so they'll stand with you guys in a negative situation to point out like, oh, well, those white people are bad. But in reality, we understand that they don't associate themselves with you guys only when it's convenient to manipulate a situation.
And it's funny too, these white fools talking about everybody's KKK now. This probably literally, and this is going by the the Southern Poverty Law Center. I think they have registered 2,200 active KKK members in the whole country. Those toothless redneck group who would ever want to be associated with those fools. But everybody's KKK and white supremacist, and it's like, damn, it's like you throw that label on people who they spent their whole life going out of the way. I was fortunate, my buddy Donnell, since we were kids, to a black friend of mine, and I went down and I was like 13 years old. Went to South Carolina, and like generational hardcore fucking, these people love South Carolina, and he had a big extended family, and I was the only white kid there, and they treated me like I was one of the family. And I sat back, and it was a holiday. I forget which hall we were there for, and I remember sitting there thinking, man, why are they people on TV and saying, I said, why they try to act like there's always some difference? I saw a family joking, loving each other. Nana, the Grammy, everybody was going over and kissing her. And there's no different. It's Americans and it's family. You know what I mean? If people just fucking look over, you know what I mean? It's such a simple thing. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a fucking preaching fool. It just bothers me that when people try to separate us and to see that it's white people trying to do it, it's like, what the fuck you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, you go back 10 years, it was us being depicted how you guys are being depicted now. You move forward, it's like you guys, because of the population changing and you guys becoming a minority. So it's just to keep infighting so others can stay in power. So if you keep everybody fighting, you can never everybody be so focused on fighting, you won't be able to pay attention to what's really going on. Everybody just need to come together. At the end of the day, all of this stuff is BS. Arguing over the minor differences, even when we disagree in boxing, it's small. It's a small thing, but even us disagreeing is pushing the sport forward. And if we're gonna come together and push forward as a people, we have to all want. I should want the best for you, and you should want the best for me. It shouldn't be no ill will. Like, it's enough resources for everybody to survive and thrive.
Exactly. No, exactly. Absolutely. And that's why when I say, like, why I'm bothered by Colin Kaepernick, it's because, why I'm bothered? Because why I think it's hypocritical. Yes, the 16 unarmed black men shot by police, that bothers me. I can't watch that shit on YouTube. It just bothers me. Seeing anybody get shot by the cops just bothers me. But when you look at the thousands of fucking kids dying in the streets of Chicago, like, where's the people taking any for them? You know what I mean? They're like just being ignored. So it's like, because the media loves to get behind hating on the cops. So it's like, damn, why don't you fucking, you know what I mean? Like, go into these places where young black men are dying and do something.
The media definitely doesn't show the same support for that, but I think it's purposeful, because if you get rid of all crime, then you're going to have a lot of people out of work. So
it's true. No, it's true. I just said the other day, the prison system is one of the largest, top 10 biggest conglomerate in the United States. Big business.
Yeah, so and that's why programs like boxing and other sports is needed in these communities, because if you take those away, then you take away a lot of the outlets, that would be possible for these kids to get out of that, that chaos, this push. But that's pushed through the music, it's pushed through the TV, it's pushed through these same systems to keep majority caught up in that loop. So so you don't even get to make it to that next level.
Nope, and it's true. If you just give kids, that's what you gotta occupy kids. You can't give kids nothing to do. If they have nothing to do, they will find something to do. And usually, if they're kids, they're gonna do kid things. They don't think like adults. And then if you know what I mean. And then if it's generational, and if they're born into generational violence, they don't know any better. And then that's what ends up happening. You get so many young black men dying. So many kids left fatherless. And there's study after study that shows it takes a super, super strong woman, and usually help from her extended family, to help raise a boy, because a boy needs a man for his confidence. He needs a man for there's a lot of other things. And I'm not saying not everybody, because there's plenty of guys who have just been raised by a woman who turn out to be a lot better than I am. But you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, that's, I think, where it starts, like the family unit. You got to have, it just takes two people to raise children. It's too hard on a woman. To do it all herself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you need that balance, the yin and yang.
Exactly.
And going back to the point, there was push, but like you remember that weekend when it was a mass shooting, I want to say in a Florida bar or something like that. Like, I want to say like 20 some people got shot.
Yep, in that nightclub.
That same day, I want to say it was around Memorial Club, 52 kids got shot in Chicago, and they made it was all pray for Florida, but you never hear that same type of sentiment or focus on what's going on out there. So.
Because that was a gay club, and it's just, seriously, it's no joke. You have points of oppression, right? White people, we are the bottom rung. White men, we are the lowest of low, and it goes up. So like black people, but then these guys were Latino gay, so they're even more oppressed, right? So, but why they don't deal with the Chicago problem? Because it frightens them. They don't know how to deal with it, so they avoid it. And they don't want to report on it wrong and look like they're being biased towards something. Listen, I don't care how you're being biased. Children are dying. They're shooting each other. These kids, and a lot of them, I bet you don't even want to be in it. They get pulled into it just through peer pressure.
Grandmothers can't sit on the porch no more. I mean, it's deep. And it's not just an attack on it's an attack on all men. I don't want y'all to think y'all just in it alone. If you're a masculine traditional style man, it's an attack on you right now. So it's kind of just the push is to feminize everybody right now.
Well, why?
No, it's true. I shouldn't act like it's just me. No, true. They would go after you too, just on your views, just for the fact you talk like a man, and then the fact that you actually see through the bullshit. Anybody I see on
we see what happened to Bill Cosby. I mean, it don't matter even if you pushing the other way towards what they got going on. Can I
say that's people are gonna hate me for this. I think they railroad. I don't think they should have put that old man into prison for 7 years. I think that's bullshit. I'm just sorry. I get soft when it comes to old people. You know what? That shit happened years ago. Come back on him 20 years later. I understand whatever he did, but
we don't even know if it happened.
Right?
We know,
so what are you saying? You don't believe the stories?
No, I'm saying you could be the big man at your job, and you gonna have more pull towards the women. If you the big man in your neighborhood, it's easy. They're throwing it at you. I mean,
Of course. A lot of that shit's regret. It ain't rape, it's regret.
right
A lot
now,
of it happens.
right
You know
now,
what I
all
mean?
these athletes and rappers are sipping lean, popping Percocets with these women. 20 years from now, they're gonna have some cases. They all these athletes coming out. If you're an athlete in the chat, you might think you just going to partying with a woman and y'all drinking together or y'all popping pills together. 20 years from now, you become too big or something like that, and she's not doing well, you might have you a case, even if you didn't do nothing wrong. So you better be careful out there. That's what I
And they
recommend.
got
You have to
camera
adjust.
phones.
Yeah, we can't just keep complaining about it. If you are an athlete, you have to move responsibly. You cannot just be
Yeah.
bringing no bottles to drink in a relationship. You can't be just bringing any drugs and just thinking you kicking it and partying, because 20 years from now, it's going to come back on you. So if you're a young athlete in the chat, be mindful of all of that.
I feel for you got young guys now. I couldn't even imagine. It's like, what do you have to have girls sign letters of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally have to draw paperwork, right? Please sign this. Okay, I initial here.
Well, the thing is, Jimmy, they're
was
making it so
completely
easy.
consensual.
They're making it so easy to take you to court, and now women are such victims that they're gonna believe a woman's word before a guy. So I don't know, just making it easy for these women to take people to court.
Yeah, and 50, I think 50 and Floyd makes women sign consent, but they're saying even in the act, you're supposed to ask at this point, is this still okay? You know, so in the middle of it, you 5 minutes in and she decides that, you know, you should ask her, or you could be still charged with, you know, something.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you're out, right, you hook up on a chick and you're back, you're hitting it, you're fucking balls deep. You're supposed to stop in the middle and seriously ask her, hey, am I raping you?
No. They say
no, I understand what you're saying, but it's like fucking crazy. Talk about ruining the mood.
Yeah, they recommend that you still ask, is it still okay? You know, 5 minutes in.
Oh my God. Oh my God in heaven, man. Christ, oh God. When I was young, the only thing I had to worry about is did I bring enough blow to the party? Seriously. Fuck. Nobody had cameras. Nobody did shit. My God. Fucking did you, as long as you didn't wake up with cold sores on your lip, you did all right. Yeah. Fuck, it's crazy, man. I seriously, my heart goes out to you guys. This is crazy. Although I had my thing too. We had AIDS. Like I was just saying, that happened when I was 19. 18, actually 16 when I first had AIDS. I was like, what? And so, of course, all of a sudden that closed up the shop on a lot of girls right there.
I mean, but you still have a lot of stuff going around, but it's just like you're in a free for all society right now. You have everything is at its height. They're dressing, with as least as possible now. You got everybody shooting more than ever. Everybody's more hyped than ever. Everybody's more sensitive than ever. So it's like once you got one extreme going on one end, you got another extreme going on the other end, and just everybody's confused right now. Nobody really understands. Everything's confusing because you don't know what's right. You don't know what's wrong. One day this is cool, the next day this not cool, and then you telling me 10, 20 years from now something that was acceptable in society, it's wild.
That's why I stick with the Judeo-Christian values. You know what I mean? That hasn't changed in hundreds of years. If you really kind of go by them, you don't even have to believe in God, but you go by the values. Even the 10 Commandments, you know what I mean? You don't fuck your boys, girls. You don't steal from people. You don't steal. You know what I mean? You just do those basic things, and you should be all right. The fact that they're adding all these nuances is ridiculous.
But
fucking surnames and shit.
501c3 changed that, because once they start getting government money, they got to accept everything, even if it's against the scripture.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So we need more. We need to establish some values. But even now, that's wrong. You know what? I don't know. I don't want to say it.
No, say it, dude.
No. Nah.
Okay.
And that's why boxing programs across the United States are important, because you still have some traditional values being taught in those gyms. Discipline, how to get up from losses, just how to follow direction, and how to think on your own once you get to
be a part of something. Just being a part of something too, man. Having, that trainer relationship. Yeah, no, absolutely. But Bucho, what were you gonna say, brother?
I don't know. I forgot.
BDA.
No, it's
oh
Bucho.
Shit. I'm sorry. I thought I cut you off there.
No, nothing. I don't know. I forgot.
You were gonna say something. I thought about religion because we said Judeo-Christian values. You said yeah, as long as you have the values.
Yeah. Shit, I
All right,
don't
if
know.
it makes you uncomfortable, dude, don't.
No, I don't even remember what I was gonna say, man. All right, maybe we should end the show because the fights are starting.
Okay, brother.
But
hey, listen, Trap. I want to tell you too before I hang up, man. Seriously, you have no idea. I'm like, nice. That really lifted me up. Thank God, you guys aren't falling for that shit, and you see through it. I already knew Bucho did. I knew BDA did, but it's good to hear.
There isn't many, but there are a few with their eyes open.
Excellent. All right, guys, you be safe. All yours.
all right, man.
All right,
Take
Talk
care,
to you guys
man.
soon, all right?
all right.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, BDA.
No problem, man. All right, take care, guys. Thank you for showing up. See you tomorrow.
Adios.
Adios, man. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. The hell was that? Anyways. That's right. The fights are starting, so time to bounce. Thank you for everybody who donated. Thank you for everybody who showed up. Hit that like button, share the video, make BDA grow. See you tomorrow, guys. Post-fight reactions.